What's up, everybody? A special thank you to Guayaki Yerba Mate for being our drink sponsor for the show. I love Yerba Mate, and Guayaki delivers some of the best Yerba Mate I've ever had. I'm having their lemon elation, and it kept me pretty charged up for the show. I actually love this drink. I drink it all the time. Love drinking it before a workout, before the show, during the show. You guys definitely got to check it out. Michael, Peyton, good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
I'm back from Japan. I'm alive. I have the flu currently and jet lag, which is a great combination. I'm almost wishing death at this point. No, I'm just kidding. A little bit. I really am. But I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna power through this and then go home and pass out.
There we go.
Today's episode is basically a day-by-day breakdown of my awesome trip to Japan. It was a spiritual experience. It was magnificent. It was so serendipitous. Things were just happening at the right times. We got to do amazing things. We probably got a flight attendant fired. Jonte almost got mangled by monkeys. We had amazing food. We biked most of Tokyo. We had the most amazing coffee. I mean, it was the trip of a lifetime. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I'm with two of my best friends, Isaiah and Jonte. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in, and get ready for the most epic trip in Japan. That was... Man, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this episode, to be completely honest with you guys. Guys,
It'll be a doozy.
we made it back. Woo.
Barely.
Barely.
I almost got a UTI.
What?
Oh, that's right on the plane.
Wait,
On the
what?
plane, right?
I
No.
just sit between those two people that slept the whole time.
I did not. My mind was somewhere else. I was like, oh, we're starting there? Hey, man.
But we're not
We
supposed to.
can't. What are you saying that for? We're not even a minute in. The first thing you say is, I almost got a
I got a
UTI.
UTI.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, man, you didn't use the bathroom for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I had my stomach hurt the rest of the day, but yeah, I made it.
You have a kidney infection.
Yeah, I might. We'll
I had
see.
to help you out for a bit. You called some SOS. I had to give you some water.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Why did you
We
just...
made
What you're talking about, is my mic on?
It should be.
Oh, that's weird.
I hear you
You hear me?
and mine.
Okay.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, you were stuck on the ride home between two sleeping people, and you were so nice that you didn't want to wake them up.
I guess, yeah. Well, I thought they would eventually wake up like normal people. And then I just kept waiting, like, all right, first one who wakes up, I'll go with them. And they did not wake up, either of them. I was like, oh my God, these guys are sleeping the whole time. So that was unfortunate.
They had a trip like us, exhausted.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I thought it'd be fun to take people kind of day by day, moment by moment, since our trip was absolutely incredible. I mean, it was serendipitous. It was magnificent at times. It was spiritual. It was crying, laughing, and just crying sometimes. We got to do so many amazing things, and I don't think a lot of people who travel with like friends get to do as much as we did in such a short amount of time. And for the people listening at home, we actually cut our trip down shorter than what we intentionally had for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
I think the first one was a shout out to the hostel we were staying at, Oak Cabin Hostel.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They really are, for what we paid and what we got, you can't get any better than that. The facilities were clean. The staff was super friendly. The people there, for the most part, I mean, like, were super nice, super engaging, super welcoming. And even the pods we stayed in, the actual pods were pretty, like, that's all you need. If you're staying in Japan
Yeah.
or Tokyo for like a few days, go to Oak Cabin Hostel. That'll save you so much money, and
Yeah.
you'll be totally fine.
It's a nice area too.
The area
Away.
was amazing,
Yeah.
Right?
and we were never there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we basically were there to try to sleep, and then, and I think the issue that we were having was the actual sleep portion of it, was because, you know, there were some rambunctious individuals, I should say. Would you say that, Jonte?
Yeah, it felt like every night.
Every night, and there are signs everywhere that says, "Hey, no cell phone usage, no talking after a certain time."
Yeah.
They have
some-
lights out at 10 p.m.
Yeah, so you would expect people to be super quiet during that time, but they weren't.
Yeah.
It was just a couple people.
And I feel like that was when they were the noisiest. Like throughout,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
sometimes we would come in a little, like a little prior to 10, and in that little lounge area where everyone kind of galvanizes, everyone is super quiet. No one's really talking.
Right?
But then when we get to
Well, then when
the
it's
bed
bedtime-
portion, they're like loud. I'm like, why couldn't going through their bags, zipping and
Yeah.
unzipping and plastic bags? I'm like, why couldn't y'all have done this
Right?
prior?
Yeah.
But there was a couple nights whenever like the majority of people left. I felt like there was 2 nights where like all of a sudden like more than half the people left. Those nights were actually kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was totally fine to stay
Yeah.
there. But I think just for the amount of activities we were doing during the day and the amount of walking or bicycling, I mean, we just needed that rest. And plus we were not a jet lag was there. So we weren't getting the proper rest we needed.
Right.
So we said, you know what? I think we can hit everything we want to hit in just like 7 days, 8 days. No, we stayed there longer than
No,
that.
we
10.
we were
10.
there 10, like 10 and a half. We left
Dude.
on day 11.
Dude, it felt like one long day.
Oh,
sometimes.
it
Yeah,
really did.
An
yeah.
amazing one long day.
Yeah.
Like a day and a half.
Side note, because of this flu that I have currently, I feel cold and I'm sweating right now. So that's awesome. I don't know what temperature it is
Hot
in
and
here
cold.
for real. Are you guys hot or is that just me?
little warm.
I'm comfy.
A little warm. Well, you're wearing the thickest hoodies I've ever seen in my life.
Gotta represent. Hip Panda.
Hip Panda, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, which
Yeah.
was an incredible place. Let's take people through our trip, and I'd like to start on the ride to the airport, where guess what? Jonte LaGrosse finally got me back.
Got him.
And
Got him.
Let's get
got him.
everybody. Let's give Jonte a round of applause.
He did it.
You did it, man. Hey, seriously, great job. So Jonte's prank was so well planned, and it was in phases, which I respect. And he played the long game in it, which I'm like, yes, that's what you have to do. I received a letter in the mail, maybe like weeks and weeks ago, saying I owed this collection agency money from Best Buy Inc. And I was like, this sounds like a scam. Gave him a call. The number didn't work. Website was like, it was this fake Facebook account. I'm like, this is a scam. And like a couple weeks after that, I received a phone call from guess who? One Stop Collection Agency. I was in the middle of a shower, by the way, and I answered my phone because I do that. I'm a psycho. And this phone call proceeded to say that they were from One Stop Collection Agency and that I owed them this money from Best Buy Inc. And I was getting kind of progressively annoyed throughout the conversation.
A little irate.
A little. Still polite, but irate. Irate polite? Is that even a thing? Yeah, I think so. And I told her basically, hey, I'm telling you this wasn't me. I need to file a report with whoever that this was identity fraud. And she was like, that's totally fine. You can do that, but we need to get a payment today. And that's when I was like, oh, this is a scam. And you're going to scam me? Hey, you know how ridiculous that sounds? And then she said something, and then the phone line cut off. And I was like, oh, this is a scam. Whatever. You know what? I am going to the FCC.gov or the Federal Trade Commission.gov. I filed a report, dude. I filed a report.
Made me feel good.
Yeah, dude, I was like, man, these scam artists are getting really, really good. And because I'm prime time now, I'm a target. So we're heading to the airport, and Jonte goes, "Hey, man, check out this itinerary my friend printed out for us." And at first I'm like, okay, you're giving me homework, which I hate when
I
people
don't
do.
want to look at
Okay,
this thing.
why'd you print it out?
Why not on the phone?
Yeah, just, all right, email it to me. I'll look at it later. And I almost didn't open it, by the way. How funny would that be? It's like, all right, cool, whatever.
I mean, you should really
Fail.
open it.
And I'm like, I don't want to open it. You're being weird. And I throw it out the window. Can you imagine? He's like, no. So I opened this package in a yellow manila envelope. And it's the letter from One Stop Collection Agency. Isn't it? Wait,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like,
What was going through your mind when you saw that initially?
I literally went, well done.
You knew immediately.
Well, is that what I said? Well done? Or was
Yeah.
it?
Well
Or
played.
well played.
Oh, well played, something like
And then
that.
you kept on saying it. Well played.
Well played. And then it
Well
all came
played.
together. And I was like, you know what? Respect. Like a psycho. Not like, oh man, you got I was more appreciative of the amount of work you put into it. So I was like, man, this is well done. Yeah. Oh, you hired somebody oh, that's right. He must have and then you showed me the video of your friend calling me. By the way, the lady calling, what was her name?
Shout out to Jamie Farrell, amazing actress. She was awesome. She did some amazing improv with you, which I was impressed. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're busted. And she came in with some nice doozies. And I was like, bravo.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and her name is what?
Jamie Farrell.
Jamie Farrell. You're a target now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. And so I saw the video, and she was shaking like in the beginning. She was so nervous.
She was nervous.
Yeah, which she should be. And she should be even more nervous now that I know her. Dude, it was such a well done prank. And you actually had a phase 3, which you decided not to do, which was I would be at coffee with my neighbor Nora for like some
Styling
stuff. Where she does
consultation.
amazing styling, Nora Foley. And I would have somebody come up to me and go, "Hey, are you Wesam Quiche from For the People?" And me, being me, prime time, I'd be like, "Ah, yes, it is."
He knows me.
And they would go, "You've been served."
Yes.
And I would've been like-
with the envelope that you got in the car.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very good.
dude.
And you didn't know this. I was gonna have actually Rachel stage there, just because that's not out of the norm. Because you have seen Rachel at Groundwork. She was gonna be recording from outside. I was gonna have Nora voice recording. So then I was gonna put this video together and
Yeah.
have it all.
But
Pretty good.
due to some outside circumstances, you didn't go through phase 3. But I'm telling you what, phase 1 and 2, you got me, man.
Well played.
Well played.
Also, shout out to Travis Dixon, who was also a co-creator of this master plan. So
There you go.
He's
He's
on the
on
list,
my
too.
hit list too. Dude, I've got homework to do for the next 8 months. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. No, that was an amazing way to start off the trip.
Yeah,
I
and that
feel
was the
like.
start.
That was the start of it.
The car ride.
Now, we get to the airport, and I've been trying to get priority boarding because
To the Tom Brady Airport.
Tom Brady.
right.
Tom Brady.
Right.
Tom Brady International.
By the way, that's all I'm ever going to call it. Tom Bradley? I don't know who that guy is. I know Tom
I know
Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
I know Tom Brady. So I've been trying to do like priority boarding with Delta just because I like to be the first one on a plane. And I get it. We all get there at the same time. I don't care. I want a place for my baggage, my carry-on, and I want to sit there and wait comfortably. I don't want to wait behind some guy and more people who don't know how to enter a plane, which seems to happen quite often.
Get on late, and then there's no room for
It's
your
the first time.
baggage.
Exactly. And it's an international flight, and I do not want to check baggage.
Yeah.
So I talked to
This
we've
lady
already
in purple.
the lady in purple, who's probably fired right now.
Yeah, we definitely
Thanks
got,
to Lisa.
definitely got her fired.
So, mind you, this is only like a couple hours into our trip. Everything
We're
that's
still
just
in
happened.
LA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
still in
in
LA. Dude, I'm telling you, this is the most epic trip ever. So, I'm at the Delta desk. We've already checked in. It's like the gate.
Easy
And-
check-in, by the way.
Dude,
No wait. No
Literally nobody in front of us. We were like, is this
real?
And by the way, Josh, this is Josh's first international trip.
Yeah.
We broke your cherry.
It was, yeah.
I'm gonna let that linger.
Think about
Think about that. No, and so we went through security with ease, no problems. And so I'm at the Delta gate desk, and I'm like, "Hi, I saw that you had the option on Delta to get priority boarding, and I was wondering, is there any way I can purchase that? Because I tried doing it on my phone and over the phone, and they said we can't. I'd have to do it here at the check-in. I'd like to purchase that for me and my friends." And she just goes, "Oh, just go on with pre-boarding." And I was like, "Huh? What?" And she's like, "Just go on with pre-boarding. It's fine." I'm like, "Wait, I'm sorry.
I'll pay.
Yeah, like I'll." Like, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's really, really nice of you. She's like, yeah, no worries. I'm like, so we just go on with pre-boarding?
Do we get like a
me and my
ticket
friends?
or something?
Yeah, exactly. Do I have to get a reprint something?
Right, proof,
And she's like, no,
proof.
just come up. And I'm like,
Okay.
and then I walk back to you guys. I'm like, we got pre-boarding.
Cool.
And you guys are, all right, cool. So we walked around a little bit, and then people start gathering around, right? And they're about to announce when you can start pre-boarding, and then military, and then like first class, and then general cabin seating. And we don't see the lady there who told us.
The lady in purple.
The lady in purple.
Who gave
And
us.
free pre-boarding,
Yeah.
It was a hoax.
right? So I'm like, dude, do we just go up? Do they know who we are? Like, do
Did
they
she
know that
tell
I'm prime
someone?
time? Did she recognize me? So I see her again, and they start announcing pre-boarding, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's actually not at the ticket taking place. She's still at the desk at Delta, at the gate desk. And I'm like, hi, do you remember me? I asked about the pre-boarding. She's like, oh, yeah. Just go in. And I'm like, right now? Okay, guys, let's go. And I wave Jonte and Isaiah over.
We're like, yeah, doing something. Yeah.
Yeah, we just walk in. And by the way, they go, as we're walking up, they go, military. We'd like to welcome active military
To board first.
to board first.
I feel so awkward.
Dude,
And
So
we're,
un-
us three are going up for military. I was like,
obviously not military. Obviously 3 hooligans. So I get up, and a guy goes, "Are you active military?" And
No, first the lady
Oh, yeah.
asked.
That's right. I go,
Yeah.
"Oh no." She said, "We." Wait, no. What did the lady
It
say?
was it was the lady, and then she asked, and then you said, "Oh, the lady over there said we
Lady
can
in
go,"
purple.
and then she was like, "Okay, cool."
That's right.
And
then
then
the guy-
you were already kind of like through that first, like she scanned your phone and checked your passport, and then you were just on the other side of that. Now
Yeah, you
Josh
were already-
and I,
yeah.
Josh and I are now like waiting to go next, and then that's when that guy comes over. Oh no, wait, are you guys military?
Yeah, and
and
I
he asked
go,
you, who's already passed.
and I go, "Oh no.
And then you keep walking.
Kept walking halfway down the jetway.
Yeah, I'm gone."
You're like saying no to like
Oh, no,
behind
no,
you
no.
as you keep going forward to the guy.
No. Dude, so confused. I don't know what happened after I left.
you-
I
Yeah,
was like-
because you left the scene of the crime.
I was like, you know what?
And Josh and I are back here,
We're
and
there.
this guy's like, no, wait, who? What lady? And then I think as you were leaving,
like,
you just point to the side.
lady in purple.
The lady in purple.
Lady in
And we were
purple.
like-
And then you kept walking, and Josh and I are still stuck at
We're like
the gate.
pointing just somewhere, like the lady
And
in
she's
purple.
not nowhere to be found.
And he's like, who?
He walks off. I think you guys
Yeah.
told me at some point, and you guys
'Cause
already
he was
start-
trying to find her, and then we're like, well, let's go.
We're struggling to get through. We're like telling the other lady, like, just come on.
dude, walking onto that plane, that jumbo, what is it, the 747, like a huge airplane
Yeah.
for international travel, and we're like
the first one.
literally the first ones. There was maybe one other like
Military guy. There's one military
maybe, yeah,
guy.
or like an old person, right?
Right.
In a wheelchair, just getting comfortable into their seat, and they're like, "Hi, how you guys doing?" We're like, "Great,
Welcome, military.
welcome, military." Not military, dude. Sitting down, and we're just like, "Man, this is kind of like I can't believe this. We got somebody fired." Obviously,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Lady in Purple lost her job.
Then after us, you see moms with
Yeah, with
babies.
their kids and everything.
Parents.
And dude, we were laughing
Feel like
so
the worst,
hard.
the
Why
worst
are we-
people.
Kind of. I didn't feel bad. I feel like,
My first international trip, so I was like, okay,
yeah, this is how it is.
I guess. I don't know anything else.
You just ask to pre-board. They just let you.
Cool.
Travel hack.
Yeah.
Travel hack. Just ask to pre-board. Excuse me.
So that was a start.
That was the start. The plane ride there was actually very bearable with having two friends by your side because being by yourself for 10 and a half hours is just miserable on any kind of international flight and coach.
First time I liked the middle seat, to be honest.
There you go. Also, it seemed like somebody else took a lot of interest in Jonte, that's for sure.
Oh,
And
my! I
Jonte-
almost forgot.
Ice cream man.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
We have so many names for people throughout our trip. So we have the Lady in Purple.
Lady in
Who
Purple.
definitely got her fired. And now this is Ice Cream Man.
Ice cream. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't even arrived in Tokyo right now.
now we're
We're still on the plane.
probably.
In transit.
Still stateside.
So our stewardess,
Flight attendant.
flight attendant, was this very kind man and very friendly as well.
Yeah.
And he, how do you tell this story? He was very friendly, all right? That's all you need
He
to
was
know.
a friendly gay man who
Okay,
took
there you
interest
go.
in Jonte,
There
and he
you go.
shot his shot.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's the way to tell it, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was time for dessert,
Oh.
which was ice cream. And he came by and he was like, do you guys want some ice cream? And we were all like, no, we're good. And he was like, you guys look like you work out. You could afford to have some ice cream. And we were like, oh.
Thanks.
He said it in a very complimentary way.
Right.
Yeah, he was a very nice dude.
Super nice.
Yeah.
But
A little too nice?
a little flirty. I
Yeah.
felt like
Yeah.
with
With
Jonte.
Jonte,
With
Jonte.
Jonte.
Yeah.
Really flirty.
Because he kept up the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
And Jonte.
you played tennis with him, with
Yeah,
that
you
little
didn't-
verbal tennis with him.
You didn't shut it down.
Hey, I mean, what am I supposed to say? He's serving us our food, so
Yeah.
just continue to be nice.
Yeah, you just,
Lead him on.
There was no lead on. There was no lead on.
dude.
But afterwards, after you guys were busting my chops, he came by. I don't think he heard Isaiah making commentary,
Oh.
He
busting
for
my
sure heard
chops.
Isaiah.
I mean, sorry, no, he did. And as he's walking by, he lays a hand on Isaiah as if to let him know, I hear you. And kept
Yeah, I
on
feel
walking.
bad.
But he literally laid a hand.
I made fun of him real hard right after. Well, because I was laughing. Well, okay, so I was dying while him and Jonte are playing verbal tennis. I'm in the middle of them, and I'm like trying not to cry. I'm laughing so hard because I know Wesam's watching this too, and we're both like, oh god. And then as soon as he leaves, I like bend over to you guys, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot what I said.
Dude, you bent over like if you're watching on YouTube, this is all I see from like Isaiah. He's just like I'm like, I see it too, man. Just play it cool.
Oh, man.
right in front of. And then I said something, and I guess it was louder, and then I realized, and he was
Yeah.
still right behind us.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
By the way, that was maybe halfway through our plane ride.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, nothing. He
Yeah, he
never came.
didn't
I
really
mean,
help us
he
much.
would come
Couple
over,
times.
but everything was tight-lipped. There was no, conversation. Nothing.
Yeah.
That was
Damn
our
it,
ice cream
Isaiah.
guy.
That was the ice cream guy.
We
and-
kept making jokes the rest of the trip that we would run into him somewhere. I'd be like,
Ice
"Oh,
cream man.
ice cream man.
when we landed in Tokyo, we saw that awesome bridge, which I thought was super, super
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
That was the second long, and then the bridge actually. You think it connects? If you look at Tokyo, there's actually like a bay area in the center of Tokyo, and there's this bridge that looks like it's going to connect
All the way.
all the way, but it actually goes underneath at some point, and it's
It
this-
disappears.
right into
Yeah,
the water.
yeah.
And it's the second longest underground tunnel, and we got to see that from the plane, which we were like, oh my gosh, it looks cool.
And it
So
goes
cool.
under the water, which is really dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said that, but that's fine.
Yeah, it goes underneath.
I meant like
the water.
under, like in the earth. like
It goes
under
into the earth. In case you
well,
didn't know
yeah.
what under is.
I was fascinated. I thought it just went like, they maybe built a tunnel through the water, but no, it goes like
Oh, yeah,
underneath
yeah, yeah.
the actual. Yeah.
That would actually be pretty dope if it was like a glass tunnel.
That'd be
Elon.
freaky.
That would. Maybe in the future. When we landed, we took the
Taxi.
taxi. But before that,
Yeah, can we talk about the service?
Like
They just run.
Oh yeah. If you go to Tokyo, we highly recommend you get this portable Wi-Fi, which gives you
Pocket Wi-Fi.
pocket Wi-Fi everywhere you go.
Wi-Fi Buddy is the brand.
Super fast Wi-Fi. You don't need to have a phone plan. If you have it in your pocket, you just link up to its Wi-Fi and you're connected your entire trip in
Yeah.
Japan.
And
it's
all
only
three
like
of us.
40 bucks.
All
Yeah.
three of us were.
Between 3 people.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
So, highly recommend that. But when we were asking for it, we were immediately stunned by the service. You showed her like the packaging label or something.
Yeah, the receipt. This is at the airport still, where like in America, everyone at the airport hates their job.
Right.
It's so annoyed. And we get there, and I just showed her the receipt, and it's like we're already running into the problem of language, and I was like, oh yeah, we can't. So I show her the receipt, and she reads it, and she's like, oh okay, and then sprints to the back to like get the package, runs back out, and is like apologizing and gives me the package, and I was like,
Was shocked.
Huh?
Was shocked that she
Why are you
sprinted.
apologizing?
And why is she running?
yeah, and why you don't need. We're not in a hurry.
And it hits me. I'm like, oh my God, this level of service. Like they are literally running.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It makes. I was like immediately. I was like, oh no, if this is how it is for the rest of our trip, I'm not leaving this place.
Yeah.
Right. And it was.
And it was.
And it was,
It really was.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad we took a taxi, kind of like instead of the train system, because taking the taxi from airport to Tokyo Station was so nice in terms of just seeing
Yeah.
Tokyo instead of being underground the whole time.
Get a glimpse of our space.
Right.
Yeah.
And so taxi driver dropped us off. And I thought Tokyo Station was like a 10-minute walk.
Nope.
But there was another station that was a 10-minute walk, which was not Tokyo Station. My fault, guys. Hey, but your fault for bringing a non-rolling carry-on with you, okay?
Well, we should also talk about how we packed, which I thought was genius.
Yeah, super light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't check anything in.
Nothing.
Just one backpack
Just like a
and one bag
backpack
for
and a
each.
duffel, yeah.
Dude, if
Of course, I'm the overpacker, though.
100%.
And that's why you tore a tendon.
Yeah, the whole time we're walking, and then days afterward, Jonty's like, my tendon is tight. Not my muscles are tight, my tendon. I feel my tendon, guys.
So
Yo,
specific.
man, both my shoulders are so sore. That was like an hour walk, right?
30 minutes.
It was like an hour walk.
Felt like an hour to him.
How
It
heavy
felt like
was
an
your...
hour. It was pretty heavy.
Yeah?
Yeah. We packed. Okay, we were going. The initial trip was 18 days.
Oh my gosh. How much
Touche.
underwear did you pack?
Touche.
I'll tell you what, though,
12 pairs.
when we do this trip again, because we're going to do it again
Annually.
annually,
Can't wait.
I know exactly what to pack.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, I love just wearing my white t-shirt and just 2 pairs of pants. That's all I needed, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, that's all I really want to wear. Because you buy so much stuff while
Yeah.
you're there. You see so much cool stuff. You're like, oh, that's not in America. I'd rather want that than the hoodie I brought.
They give you umbrellas.
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Surplus.
So immediately, I think what we noticed about the trip was how quiet everything was.
It was eerie.
It was very eerie. Oh, dude, this flu is killing me. We're
Was it easy?
gonna take a quick break actually here in just a couple minutes, but the quiet and how little people there were.
I think it was our area, too, we later learned.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nihonbashi.
yeah.
But it was like a zombie apocalypse was...
We got there Friday.
Yeah, on a Friday night, and we were like, where are the people?
We were like, what is going on? And it's still light out, so it was like Friday afternoon we arrived.
Yeah.
And we're like, is this normal for?
So quiet, so clean, no trash anywhere.
Oh,
No people anywhere. Like, where are we?
Like, is this Tokyo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Tokyo, right?
as we got closer and closer to the hostel, we were like, this is getting quieter and quieter.
Right.
Is this?
It felt like a setup
Is
for a
everybody
movie.
inside their
I know,
homes?
I know.
Just meditating.
Don't go out.
Excuse me. We're actually going to take a quick break because I need to go pass out, and then we'll continue. But we'll continue on with our first half day.
Yeah.
Consider
Our arrival.
Our
Our arrival. So
in
we
Tokyo.
just arrived.
Yeah. So we'll be right back. So we arrived in Japan, I'm on the verge of sneezing constantly, so if there's like a weird pause I give, it's just because I'm trying not to sneeze. So we get there, we drop off our stuff at the hostel. We're blown away by how cool it is at the hostel, and we're like, let's just start walking around. That park, remember that park we went to?
Yeah.
Yep. First Sakura sightings.
Oh my gosh! And for those who don't know, Sakura is Japanese cherry blossom, which they were blooming, absolutely gorgeous. And this park we went into was so heaven-like. Families playing with each other.
The
Or with
first
their
like
kids.
sight of people that we had seen.
Yeah.
And it's just these fake looking like families having so much fun running around the park. We were like, where are we, dude?
Dude, looked so fake.
Yeah.
So fake.
And the first time we heard that weird chime, they're
right.
speaking. So again, with this eerie like environment, and you hear this weird chime with obviously they're speaking Japanese. I have no idea what they're saying. But later we found out, I guess every hour they do that to tell the time.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
At least in that area. But dude,
Yeah.
the most Japanese thing is when there's just something always talking over an intercom
Oh my God.
everywhere.
Yes.
There was constantly just Japanese being spoken our whole trip.
Especially on like the main roads.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what? Who is talking and what are they saying?
And
Because
then you'll
they
see
haven't stopped talking this whole trip.
right. You see a random car come by, and people in the
Like-
car all dressed in some same outfits, and they're waving, but then
They
talking.
have like a mic, and like,
Yeah.
I got
I'm
that.
like,
and I'm
I'm
like,
like
what
so
is
Japanese.
happening?
So Japanese. I don't even know what that is, but I know it's
Right.
Japanese.
We think because it was the end of an era with the emperor. It was like their last month, and there was like a changeover. So we assume that it had to do with
Some
political,
Yeah.
like office or something.
Yeah. It had to. What else could it be?
They're just like, hey guys, how's it going?
We have a club. We later found out that clubs are big in Japan.
God.
Just clubs.
Clubs for everything.
Literally for
Oh,
everything. And we'll
right,
talk about that
right.
later
Yeah,
in the park.
Yeah. Oh, the park. Yeah.
That first evening, we walked around, not Shibuya, where was it?
Ginza
Oh.
Ginza.
Oh, yes,
Ginza.
yes.
Ginza, and that was crazy cool.
got shut down by some sushi places.
Yes, a lot of sushi places shut us
That's
down
right.
because we didn't have reservations. And by the way, the ones we went to apparently are like,
The Beverly Hills.
yeah,
The
like
highest end. I had it on the list, and I was like, oh, cool, we're going to be in this area. It's kind of nearby. Let's go there. Little did I know, like,
most expensive sushi places. In
And all
town.
those restaurants, it feel like it has 6 tables each.
yeah,
Yeah.
very small, very small.
So many restaurants, though. So many.
We went to the Pink Elephant Bar, which is a must place.
Delirium, yeah.
Delirium, yeah. And then we just kind of went home after a while because we were just exhausted and wanted to get some rest. Day one,
That's day one.
or I guess that's day one. See, what day is that?
Yeah.
Is that day one?
It's the
I
first
have
day
day
in
one.
Tokyo.
And, yeah.
Alright.
And then my days that I have listed are kind of weird because sometimes there's day one, but then also with the time change, don't really know if it's day one or day two. But
I just wrote down the
Yeah.
Sunday, Friday, Monday, whatever.
yeah.
Day two, I guess,
Just Sunday.
which was Sunday. We went to Streamers, and we had
Steamers.
Streamers.
Streamers.
Is it streamers?
Yeah, not steamers.
Yeah.
Have you thought it was steamers this whole time?
That's what it says on my like when I tag the location on my
I highly doubt that.
I
100. You want to bet? I'll bet.
It's definitely a streamer.
okay.
Kiss on the cheek.
No.
From a flu.
I'll give you the flu.
Flu lips. I bet you my flu.
I bet you my flu. Ice cream man.
Oh no. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Streamers. It's streamers, dude. 100% it's streamers.
Maybe you tagged the wrong. Well, but then on the handle thing,
Oh,
says
it does say
streamer.
streamer on the handle, but
think you
then
just
on the
tagged the wrong
location
one.
it says steamer.
You might have the wrong
You might
location.
Tagged the wrong one.
I'm pretty sure because their Instagram account is streamer. There's no way that location is called steamer.
Oh, what if you tagged like a gay bar?
No, oh look. The location, see how on the location says steamer, but then if you look in the picture, it does say streamer.
That is
so,
crazy. Okay.
Maybe people wrongly
Okay.
tag it
Wait.
because it's streamer there.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh, no,
but then
it's
on the
steamer.
location, if you look at the location at top, it says steamer. Interesting, right?
Could be a language thing.
Huh. Oh yeah, because they don't say the R's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, no. Yeah. No, they do.
Interesting. All right, yeah,
No,
but
they
it's
don't.
kind of hard
Be like
to
an
hear
L.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Stelemers. We went to the coffee shop Stelemers.
They had the amazing military latte, which was green tea matcha.
Topical.
Oh my gosh. Espresso.
Well, since you're military,
Oh my god, I didn't even make that connection. Oh yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
White
And-
chocolate.
White chocolate, and that first sip was unforgettable. It was so Japanese in the way it tasted because it wasn't overbearingly sweet. It was just a
subtle.
kind of super subtle and super balanced.
Yeah.
I think we noticed that with all the food there.
Yeah.
especially the sweets, are very subtle. It's not like here where there's a lot of like crap that's put into our
I
sweets.
forget where we went, but I was debating between getting two things, and then they were like, "Oh, this one's really sweet," and I was like, "Well, we're in, it's vacation. I'll get like a sweet thing," and I got it. And I was like,
That's
"Oh,
right.
it's not sweet.
That's right. That's right.
This isn't sweet at all."
And Steamers is coffee stop number 1, by the way.
Right?
Yeah.
For that day. Heated toilets, by the way, I have on my
yeah.
list here.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. There's like
Bidets.
super fancy everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Steamers is the first bidet experience, at least that
That's-
I've saw.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Complicated.
Yeah.
I the entire trip I did not use it just because I was afraid that I was going to press the wrong buttons and and have some accidents. Although I really wanted to try, but I didn't. I couldn't read Japanese, and there were so many buttons.
So many-
many
dude, I know.
buttons.
It's a little intimidating.
Yeah, it really is when you don't know what comes out and shoots water up.
Yeah.
It comes out where? What comes out where? Because
Yeah.
there's stuff on the side like wall
There's, like,
as
ones
well.
Where's flush? Dude, first,
The flush was hard
I was
too.
like, I'm
Yeah.
so glad a lot of people wrote flush. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
There it is. There it is.
With an arrow.
Now, this is where we rented the bikes that day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah, we went back to the hostel. We rented the bikes, which were amazing things to do.
I also wrote deep talk number 1.
That's true.
That was the first morning. The first time we had one of. I numbered them because we had so many deep talks. Probably just one every day.
Oh, your phone's there, dude. I can't see your phone from here. The whole time I'm like, where are your
is he
notes,
looking
dude?
at?
Yeah, you keep going. Yeah.
Just remembering.
Just remembering. Dude, how about
Deep
That's
talks.
one of my favorite parts of the entire trip.
it was cool because I shared with you guys one of my goals for the trip was to like help me. I wanted this trip to help me elevate me to that next level of my craft, and it seemed to have done that. To completely
Yeah.
honest with you, or at least given me the tools to do so and understand, and with all the experiences and everything we saw and did.
That conversation stayed with me. I, in fact, last night rehashed that conversation with Rachel, and it was mind blowing, man.
Yeah. I think that's also really important too whenever you go, not important, but it makes the trip so much more meaningful when you have a goal in mind for the trip. It doesn't have to be,
intention.
yeah, it's like an intention behind it. Yeah,
Yeah.
precisely. Because then there's this appreciation or this awareness more with everything that you're doing. Instead of it being just a vacation, where
Right,
everything's kind of
right.
like, we'll just do that. We'll just do that. Then it becomes almost meaningless. Like, okay, you just kind of
Yeah.
zoned out for a week, which I
Yeah.
don't think is really
No, we were
beneficial.
very present. Very
Very.
present.
We got to see the Imperial Palace, which I thought was cool for the first
Yeah.
day.
Stumbled upon it.
Yeah, we actually
Pretty much.
Yeah, so big. That whole area,
Yeah.
so huge. And then we were talking about how amazing and incredible that must have been if there was like an opposing army,
Yeah. Back in the day.
samurais fighting. Like, dude, there probably was like wars fought here. How
Yeah.
So impressive.
insane would that be?
And just how it's built for defense.
With the
That's
moat.
amazing.
Yeah.
The huge walls. Remember
Yeah.
that wall I stood by?
Yeah.
How small? Like, how
Like-
they move those rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of those
Yeah.
like bricks were like as tall as you.
Yeah.
Insane, dude. Oh, we can't forget on our way there.
Yes, I was gonna. Yes,
the
yes.
Pikachu hat.
How?
Oh, my
how?
God.
By the way, this entire trip was serendipitous in terms of like impulse after impulse. But yeah, our bike ride led us to this amazing like street festival, if
Was
you
it
will. They closed down.
Celebration of a bridge or something.
Yeah.
the birthday of an old
Birthday.
bridge.
Yeah, something was happening, so we were like, we have to like
Right.
detour here, and we saw these huge like puppet things. One was some character we didn't know what it was, and then we saw some Pikachu's,
The almighty
and
Pikachu.
then we went very touristy.
We wore the Pikachu hats.
Yes.
Took pictures.
Well, yeah, and then
And
the
then we had to
old
say
guy.
Pikachu.
Yeah, amazing conversation with this guy.
Yeah, amazing is a word definitely to use. We realized, oh, hi, I'm a red flag. Nice to meet you.
Right.
So,
His,
Right.
so we're there. We're obviously very American. We're talking with one of the guys in broken Japanese. Yeah, one of the locals. And this old guy comes up to us, super nice. And in his broken English, he asks us what we're doing here.
with our Pikachu hats on.
Yeah. And what we're doing.
Obviously
visiting.
Americans.
Yeah. And he asked us what we do for a living. And we said, oh, we're all actors.
He got excited.
He got really excited. And then he's like, what TV shows do you like? And then we asked him the same. Oh, what TV shows do you like? His first answer was Curious George.
That's like, okay.
Okay.
Old fashioned.
Very
Maybe.
old fashioned. Maybe it's just on some
Yeah.
old Japanese network here that he likes.
Yeah.
And then he says,
What else?
we asked him what else, and he goes, iCarly.
Uh,
Hi, I'm a red flag. Nice to meet you. Dude? I was like, oh, I don't feel comfortable right now. All right, man. Well,
iCarly and Curious George, huh?
super nice to meet you. Go ahead.
See, that's funny. That's why you guys thought it was a red flag. I thought it was a cool conversation. And what I was thinking, wait, because overseas, our shows, it's not like they don't get the current shows. So I have no idea what's being sent over right now. So, and who knows how much TV he's watching. So that's why I thought it was really cool in the sense of like, oh, we kind of get a like little taste of what they're watching. But anyways, that was my thinking.
Yeah, well, I very rarely can people be wrong with their opinion. This is one of those times. He said iCarly, Jonte. He was a 70-year-old man. Hey, guy, watch another show.
Likes the
Dude,
little kids.
if you were watching a show that had just little tween girls from Italy, and that's the whole show, change it immediately. It's just weird, no? You don't think that's weird?
Yeah, it's weird.
He just goes back on his comment now.
Oh, man. Anyway, I get what you're saying. It's interesting what people find they like. But, like, remember that old person who was like, oh, are you an actor on TV Land?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
TV Land.
Right. Which proves my
years-
point in terms of what they have access to.
Exactly. It's just really interesting to me, like, the most random American television gets. Curious George?
But you also saw what they were watching at the hostel. So I have no idea what American channels that they get.
Oh, it's either the most insane reality TV or
This girl with huge bushy eyebrows.
don't know what that's about. The most intense commercials I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes, and the best with the American actors that come in. They're not speaking Japanese, but they're like playing these significant roles, and it's funny.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
hilarious.
The one in the taxi we would see all the time is that the huge black dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Argh!" And they have riot gear in the office, and they're trying to calm him down and put him back in his suit. That dude. By the way, he's a famous Japanese comedian. That black actor.
Really?
He's been acting in Japan now for over maybe around 20 years. At
Okay,
least.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but so weird. Or the most intense dramas. Like, did you see their poster for drama?
Oh, yeah.
It looked like a mugshot, like a series of I'm like, oh, is that your most wanted?
Yeah, it's just the most.
Japan?
Oh, it's a drama.
But all
Okay.
the dudes look like they come from some like some boy band
That's
group.
true.
All the
lot of
dudes
them.
in all the shows. Whereas the females at least look like there's variations. But all the
Yeah.
guys they all look the same to me. Like the same type of
racist.
like characters. It's not racist.
Wow, John, we can't edit that out, man. Dude, we're in so much trouble right now. This show's gonna be canceled. No kidding. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Dude, very
Same look.
J-pop or very, especially the younger guys.
Yeah.
Um, that was that was really interesting. So yeah, we rode our bikes for that first day. We had our first meal in Tokyo Station.
Tried to find T's Tan Tan.
T stand 10,
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
find it.
MIA to this day.
How
find
how large was that Tokyo
Sweet
station? And then
mother.
also the food. I mean, you can honestly get lost for days in that place.
There had to have been 100
You
food
could
places in
Yeah.
the station.
On different levels too. It
You
was
could
it was crazy.
you could eat there for like a year and not have the same meal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
With
Oh, yeah.
each different place with all their different meals that they had.
Unreal.
Crazy.
And it's great for foreigners like us. All of the restaurants, they all have pictures on the outside of actually
Right.
what their meal is, which is pretty cool.
So before we went there, I want to talk about this place, Glitch Coffee.
Yes, number 2 I have.
Yeah. And another amazing conversation there because
Oh, yeah.
that was our first place we went to, and we were like, whoa, these people who make coffee here, it's like no joke. They're masters at their craft. They're roasting it there. This place, Glitch Coffee, was so cool, man. Such a small, cozy spot,
Yeah.
jazz
Playing
music.
jazz. Yeah. Wood.
And then in the background, as it's like
Oh.
golden hour, we
Oh,
see
yeah.
the leaves, the cherry blossoms are flying off the tree. And actually, Josh, not that day, he said it a couple days later, but I loved his quote. It's very like poetic about the cherry blossoms
Yes.
dying. How like in their most beautiful state, they're actually dying because it's when they're like being I guess like flown off the trees. They're falling off the trees, and that's in its most beautiful, but yet they're dying.
Mm.
That to me, that was later on in our trip, and I was like, that's life in a nutshell. You know, perspective on what's happening and how life expands and contracts, is beautiful, is ugly at times, is hard, it's easy. It's like this yin and yang, if you will, to life, this balance. And how do you balance it, you know? This goes back to Hermetic philosophy by Hermes Trismegistus, or Hermes Thrice Great, where he talks about like the balance of life and how it's important for you emotionally. One of the things he talks about is you can't be like a swinging pendulum. If something good happens to you, you can't be overly happy, you know, because when something bad happens, and it will,
Yeah.
you're going to swing all the way back and you're going to be so crushed. And you're just going to be this constant influx of emotion. And so he said it's really important for you to have like keep that pendulum in the center. You know, when something good happens, remember, be thankful for it, but remember this is not going to be lasting forever.
Right.
And when something bad happens, realize, oh, this is not going to last forever either. So don't be so upset. You know, it's just going to take time, and that's life.
Yeah.
And that's the cherry blossom
Yeah.
idea,
That
you
was
know.
awesome.
And it takes you. By the way, we were so lucky to see the cherry blossoms full bloom,
Yeah.
and then watching them fall and this beautiful, like snow, and then the new leaf growth on
Yeah.
a tree.
Yeah.
It was as if we came during the perfect week because they were in full bloom, but towards the end of that, so then we also got to
Yeah.
see the transition.
It was very, very spiritual experience for me in that sense. For that, this is the hottest room I've ever been in my entire life.
Mr. Flu.
And we're gonna turn on the AC here in a little bit. Peyton, how much time do we have?
We got 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, we still got time to talk about that day. But what I got at Glitch Coffee was this coffee bean, which I noticed is rare, but a lot of high-end places have it, is the geisha. Different types of geisha coffee.
Varietal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a varietal, but oh my God, I've never tasted coffee that tasted like strawberry licorice before. I'm not exaggerating. I thought there was like a sweetener in the coffee. I like the way it smells better than it tastes. And then the second taster I had, by the way, both cups cost like $18. Like they were
Yeah.
Right.
tasters.
It's very expensive.
Very expensive, but totally worth it. Was so floral. It smelled like jasmine, and it was so light tasting. Cafe Dulce gets that jasmine or that geisha every once in a while. That kind of floral.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was amazing, man. And that the two baristas were super nice.
They're
telling us
awesome. The
places to go.
locals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was our first place where we got like a sense of local Japan, and just because of our bike ride, I feel like that lent itself that we actually were where locals were, as opposed to like doing very touristy places by train. We went the bike route and
Right.
kind of just traveled throughout the city. And thanks to Josh with these like coffee places, and so we were
Yeah.
in seriously where the locals are, and that felt very authentic. Like even with the other customers in the coffee shop, them doing their thing. To me, it felt like I was actually in Japan now.
Yeah.
That morning we were wearing Pikachu hats, and then by the evening we're
Right.
talking to the locals, figuring out where to go. It's like a funny
That was the
dichotomy.
afternoon.
Yeah.
That was before dinner at
Yeah.
Tokyo Station too. I mean,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. I'm telling you, what we did in those first 2 days,
Like 36 hours.
so much. We got to see so much, and I think that's also probably around then we were like, maybe we should,
How are we gonna do?
maybe we should cut down our stay a little
16
bit
more days.
because we are
We were
flying
moving so
through
fast.
everything. And the thing
Sun
is,
up
like,
to sundown.
16-hour days
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single day. And I think because we were just so jet lagged, we weren't getting the proper rest. We were like, okay, we can't. Oh gosh, we're gonna be zombies.
I didn't feel it, but because someone later on said it was because we were drinking so much coffee throughout
So
the
much.
day that I never felt the jet lag throughout the day. Honestly,
Oh,
I didn't feel
neither
it
did I.
really until we got back to the States.
Same. I think I felt it at times towards the end of our stay, like
Sure.
the last 2 days.
Like
I
yeah,
was like-
yeah, exactly. The last day and a half.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh yeah.
was
The
like,
joy
oh.
of
yeah,
almost.
yeah. We'll get there. Yeah.
that day we finished off dinner at that amazing
Mm-hmm.
barbecue place. What is it called?
A toka
Oh,
something.
the yakitori place.
Yes. That's it,
Yakitori. Yeah,
yakitori.
yeah. They had amazing. You love their fried cheese,
did.
mozzarella
Oh my
things.
gosh.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
Yeah, that was
Just kept
bomb. I had
ordering them?
like
Just kept
20 of
ordering
them.
Oh man, was it? No, it wasn't that night. You had the creamy
No, that's the last night.
sake that almost spilled all over your face. Remember?
Just the white liquid. That was
Oh,
very
you guys
No,
are man.
no.
Look at this. That spilled it.
No, that almost.
because you almost fell over.
Oh, because I almost ate it. Because
Yeah.
we're
Little
on
shot.
those
Yeah.
Seat
tripod
stools.
seat stools, and we were on a. I was always the one sitting on the like the
Incline.
incline. Thank you.
So was I.
And almost nope, you're at the very top of it, and almost ate it twice. The first night and
Yeah.
and last night.
Dude, that was so good.
That was awesome.
The yakitori. Oh my gosh, those fish! I had like 5 small fish. On
Yeah.
the thing. I was like, I just eat these whole. All right.
yeah.
It looked
Amazing.
freaky at first, but apparently you loved them.
Oh,
it
they
looked
were
great.
so good.
All the food was good there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Except for I think one time the food was lack, but
We'll get to that
yeah.
beautiful day.
but man, I mean
What
the
day was
food
that?
it was
Sorry.
like towards the
Sushi
end.
place.
Oh yeah,
But outside of
Wow.
that, the food was amazing every day.
dude. The portion size is what I loved.
Yeah.
About Japan, perfect size. I left every place going. I already had a conscious decision to go. You know what? I'm not going to overeat while I'm here because I'll be sleepy if I do. I always was like at 80% max.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than that, I was always like a little hungry, which I liked because it kept me awake and wanting to do more and more and like walk and.
Yeah.
And I will point out, we never ate breakfast. Never, not once.
Oh yeah,
Coffee.
yeah.
It was coffee. There
was
was
4 cups of
there
coffee.
was a couple days where I needed something, so I got something at the coffee shops twice. But outside of that, it was like our first meal wasn't usually till lunch,
yeah.
Yeah.
if that.
I like that.
Which
though.
I think that's also why we were able to see a lot too. We were just on the go a lot.
yeah.
yeah.
That helped out tremendously. Well, before we start off with the next day, I think we're gonna take a short break, and
Okay.
then we'll be right back. People, this trip is gonna get more and more.
Gets better.
It just gets so much better.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. I totally forgot about the nicknames we gave you. Jauntus,
Jauntus.
That's all the.
which
that,
I think is
it
a
was-
disease.
Yeah.
Can we look that up real quick?
Jauntus. Yeah.
Jauntus?
You're thinking of jaundice.
Jaundice.
Yeah.
That's
where
probably
you're yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
jaundice. I feel like I have jaundice or something. Or
You look it.
or deer flu. Japanese deer flu. For sure I have Japanese deer flu.
Now you're making that shit up.
No, yeah, of course I am. Yes. You got me, Johnson.
He's like, no. Shika,
Oh, Shika, that's right.
Japanese for deer.
Shika. And
I
then
like that they gave the hand signal. Shika.
Shika. Jontanius Rex, which I like. Or Jontanius. When we're
Jontanius.
feeling cash.
And unfortunately, sometimes I would answer to my nickname, not knowing I was answering to my nickname. Jontis, let's go. Or Jontis.
Yeah. I call you John, I think once or twice.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, John? That's weird.
Yeah, John is weird for me.
Yeah. So the second day started off with me.
Oh, are we back?
Yes, we are back.
Yeah, we've been
Oh.
back.
We've been back, dude.
We've been back. There's that chapstick.
It's like, oh shoot.
For
There's that
about a
chopstick.
minute and a half now.
Yeah, so it's jaundice, right?
Jaundice
Jaundice.
is the liver disease.
That's me. There you are.
There you go. I rented those kimonos from the hostel. Those pajama kimonos.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. Highly
You were
recommend.
hoping to rent or to buy, but they're like, no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. We went to Streamers again that morning, and we actually met up with my friend Natsumi.
Oh yeah, Monday. Okay.
Yeah, who was super nice, and she took us on a Sakura boat tour, which was incredible.
Yeah.
So many pictures.
Through the canal. How
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah,
was
it's like,
that?
Like we were saying, it's like the best way to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were falling at times. And then remember we saw the like so they
The
would
cluster.
Yeah. So apparently they would when the Sakuras fell in the water, they would cluster usually they're all separated, but sometimes they'd cluster into like
To
a
find each other.
yeah. And then make a little mound. And the tour boat guide was like freaking out, like, look.
Stop the
Right.
boat.
Yeah, stop so everybody could take a picture of the mound saying, oh, that's super rare. And we're like, okay.
It's a mound of.
But how about the Japanese tour guide, which she was great.
Yes.
Talking the entire time, and we're like,
Yeah.
we don't know
You had no clue what she was saying.
what's going on, but
No.
just enjoying the trip.
How cute were the Japanese kids behind us?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh my, and so well behaved.
Yes.
For a group of children. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Even like rambunctious kids in Japan were so like well behaved
Yeah,
and
very tame.
respectful and courteous. And they'd whisper sometimes, which I'm like, that's adorable.
yeah, and all the hats
Oh.
that they wear.
Oh my god, the preschool. Apparently, those are like preschool or kindergartners that go out for their like morning walks.
What?
Oh yeah, they do that. Yeah,
See, we
yeah.
do field trips every so often, but they do a morning walk throughout the city. That's awesome.
Oh my god, so adorable with their little hats and they're holding hands with their walking
We're all
buddies.
in like a little line.
Made me want to adopt every single kid in Japan. We also went with Natsumi to Shibuya crossing, which 2 million people crossed
Oh,
that
man.
a day.
That was epic.
Insane.
So much noise, so much. That's when I really noticed all the talking everywhere. There's so much stimulation happening.
A lot of stimulation. And then when we also I took a picture with that dog, the loyal dog. What's his name? Oh crap! Can we?
I
Look
just put Wesam's dog.
up, Michael. Can we look up the dog in Shibuya? What's he called? The dog
The statue.
Yeah. If you don't know this,
Oh, okay.
if you don't know the story, it's about a dog who waited for his.
So lost.
Yeah, I know. There's
Now
so
I
much-
know what you're talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who waited for his deceased owner. and he-
Hachiko?
How what?
Hachiko.
Hachiko?
Hachiko. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Love that story.
Yeah.
So heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Love
Reminds me of Futurama.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that episode. Yep. Oh my
Everyone
God.
knows what you're talking about. It's such a good, sad
Oh
episode.
my gosh. And then we and Shibuya, we also went to that coffee place About Life.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Little coffee stand. Tiny.
They're also small.
Tiny,
Yeah.
tiny. That was our tiniest one, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had room for maybe 1-2 people inside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Inside 2 people max.
Yeah.
Amazing coffee. And we got to actually walk around Shibuya's red light district, which
Yeah.
was not as red light as I thought it would be, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, we'll get to the other one later.
What?
The Shinjuku, right? Isn't that the hardcore red light one?
Oh, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Shibuya. Oh,
Shibuya,
then
yeah.
I'm mixing my cities.
Yeah, yeah. No, but like it wasn't. It was all like hidden. You know, when I think of like, oh, red light district, like a famous red light district, I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be like in your face. There's
Right,
chicks,
right,
like,
right,
just,
right.
Like Holland or where is that,
Right.
where they're like in the windows. No, it was like so Japanese still.
Yeah.
Like everything
Subtle.
was like
Still.
subtle inside buildings. And we're like, oh, this just seems like any other alley we're walking down.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't seem that crazy. We did see a lot of the scam people in the streets.
Oh
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get accosted by them, I felt like.
They didn't come to us.
No.
We also, the way we traveled, yes, we do stick out like sore thumbs, but we also didn't stick out in terms of like touristy.
Yeah. I didn't make eye contact with them at all.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want any kind of like.
Oh, no, wait, one guy did accost Josh. I
Oh,
remember
yeah,
he
what
was
did
like
he-
in your grill. He was like in your face for a good 10
Yeah.
steps. Yeah, you were ahead. And I saw this guy come up to Josh. He
What did he
like
say?
it looked like he came to kiss you. He was literally in your
Yeah, he was
grill.
right in my face.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what he said. He said something, and I was like, "Nah, man, I'm good." And he was like, "Still, yeah." That was interesting.
Huh.
For a good 10 steps.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know about this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, where's your passport?
Made it back.
we actually went to this karaoke bar for like 5 seconds. Natsumi showed it to us, and we were like, okay, we get
Oh,
what
that's
this is.
right.
Bye.
Yeah.
So packed.
It was so packed, and people were just all standing room, no sitting.
Yeah.
And we were in there, and we are like, there's no way we can sit here. There
Can't
are
even talk to each other.
Yeah, there's no way we're gonna get a drink here. So we ended up having this amazing. Oh, we forgot about McKellar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
in
yeah,
Shibuya.
yeah.
Sorry, before
Yeah.
that, we went to this amazing rock bar, which I was like, oh, William would love this place, my brother.
No.
Oh my God, McKellar was incredible.
That was awesome.
Their beer.
Awesome. And the location was very, very like hidden location. Even to Natsumi, she was like, I didn't even know about this area of town, let
Wow,
alone this
yeah.
place. And it felt very like I don't know, like a movie. In fact, a lot of the locations that we were at felt like a movie. But yeah, just very obscure, very like hidden.
Yeah, it was like in a
Underground.
cool alleyway.
Yeah.
Oh man, we never went to that bar right across the street, which was like a listening bar. We were gonna go to that.
Record. Yeah.
Dang it, next time, next year.
On the list.
On the list, baby. Oh yeah, in that McKellar place, if you go into the bathroom, when you open the door, they're blaring punk rock music. Just blaring. I mean, it's loud. So like you can take a poop and nobody's gonna hear you. And guess what? Daddy took a poop. I've never felt more comfortable. It's so weird to say that, but because there was so much noise and because the seat was heated, I didn't know how much I love heated toilet seats.
Right.
Oh my God. Have you guys tried them?
No.
No.
The first time I felt the heated toilet seat, I honestly thought the person before me warmed the seat. I was like, man, someone must have just came in here. But I was like,
Yeah,
why
this
is it
is
still
warm.
hot?
Speaking of, I highly recommend this to people. Go to Whole Foods. They have these organic lavender Dr. Bronner's sanitizer.
Oh, yeah.
It's alcohol and lavender oil.
I
That's all.
I feel like that sponsored the trip.
Dude,
Sprayed it on your bed sheets.
sprayed it on my bed sheets, sprayed it everywhere, sprayed it on my toilet. Because, people
Yeah.
use the toilet, so it just made me feel more comfortable
Yeah.
knowing that, okay, I've sanitized everything. And it's so easy just to spray it, wipe it, and then, okay, cool, it's clean.
Yeah.
And especially before meals, traveling
Yeah.
everywhere, we just
Yeah.
spray some on our hands. Because I hate that other
Touching everything.
chemical stuff. Chemically. Oh, man.
Uh-oh, the
I might
sniffles.
die on this podcast.
At least you went to Japan.
Yeah, right. So, I just want to give Natsumi a huge shout out
Yeah.
again because she took the day off for us. She's a great friend and she was a great host for us.
Awesome
And she
host.
recommended some awesome things for us
Yeah.
to do in Nara and
Mm-hmm.
Kyoto, which we were like so appreciative of. seriously, Natsumi, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to add, in the middle of that day, I went to my first sushi go round, which was
Oh, right.
Oh yeah,
it
we
was
forgot about that.
it was her suggestion, which was amazing. Which then that introduced me to the powdered green tea, the traditional
Oh,
Japanese
yeah.
powdered green tea that I'm in love. By the way, I already ordered mine from Amazon.
Nice.
Can't wait. But
You just have a hot water faucet at your table.
yeah,
which
You
I love.
just fill up tea.
cups are already there.
Yeah.
The green tea powder is already there. Which, by the way, here is super expensive, but yet there it's
free.
like free with every single meal. Yeah.
You guys want to talk about how I freaked Natsumi out?
Sam likes his green tea
Oh,
the consistency of mud, not water. So you wanted a refill,
Yeah,
and so Natsumi was Natsumi.
Natsumi.
Natsumi was closer to the hot water faucet, so Sam handed her his cup, and she didn't look, but she was filling it up. And as soon as she touched it, Sam was like, "Oh, that's good, that's good, that's good." She was like, "Huh?" And she looked in there, and she was like, "Oh my god!" she tried to add more hot water, and Sam was like, "No, no, 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 no. That's how I like it. That's how I like it." And she was like in disbelief.
Yeah.
You don't drink it like this, right? And you're like, "Yeah."
And I chugged the rest of the sandy liquid. I'm like, and I do like it like that.
Almost
was
like
just
it was disrespectful to her or
staring at you.
something.
I think she was more grossed out. She's like, how do you put that in your mouth? I love it because two things. I like it super strong. I like my tea. Let it soak in there for as long as possible. And plus, I needed to wake up because I remember how tired I was at that table.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
This is not good. I'm going to fall asleep at this table.
That's when I felt it too. Yeah.
I was
What
too
was that?
fascinated by the sushi go round stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The next day, we went with
Tuesday.
the bikes. Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh, and it was that night, Monday night, and we were like, okay, maybe let's cut the trip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's right.
After that day, we were like, there's only a little bit left.
We,
Yeah.
we did so much.
And we have 15 days remaining.
And also, there was, I feel like we were great with our budget for what we had.
Yeah.
We just put too many days on the trip thinking that, oh, we can't fit all that into.
Right. Because of what we heard from other people.
Exactly.
But other people aren't us.
Exactly. Hey,
Exactly.
what are other people doing? Dude, we were so thankful we went with each other because we were like on it, walking, bicycling everywhere.
Yeah.
Some people do one or two things in a day, and I'm like, what do you do for the rest of the
Yeah,
time?
what do you do?
Just chill out in your hotel room?
I mean, Ice Cream Man was right. I mean, we were in shape.
That is very true. You know, that's something I really reflected on and was really thankful for, being able just to be that. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not like professional athletes, but
Wow.
we are in shape enough to like walk around all day and be all right. We're not
And
gonna,
bike around everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
and be okay with being exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of heights, like floors. I was looking at my iPhone app. We did like one day we did 52 floors, another day 49. I'm like, what were we doing?
Wow.
I don't even remember.
Uphill.
But yeah, a lot of uphill, a lot of stairs, a lot of
That
just a
makes
lot of up and
sense.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said it was like 8 times as much walking as you would
Yeah.
do in LA.
Yeah.
Which I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
Which I wish we would do more walking in LA.
It's just because it's a car culture here.
Yeah.
It's the only reason. That's why we have to hit it in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
So Tuesday morning, we rescheduled the flights and we headed
Day
out.
4, by the way, guys.
Yeah. Insane. So
This was my favorite day. This day 4.
it was insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have some good
We
notes
biked
here.
5 miles
5
to
miles.
Shibuya.
Yeah.
And one of the parts of that bike ride I loved was the uphill, the certain parts. Oh, hardest thing ever. My neck was hurting. I don't know why.
Very steep.
Yeah.
There was like 2
Yeah.
very steep hills on the bike.
And
And we're
none
on
of-
like rental bikes, not like bikes meant to climb hills.
Right, right.
Yeah. I think if we were on normal bikes, that we would have been fine. We just put it in first gear. We're like, all right, we got this.
Yeah.
And we all killed it, by the way.
Yeah.
Not anyone got off
Yeah.
their bike. And at least what was going on in my head was I cannot get off. Like, I cannot end this right here because I won't hear the
shamed.
last of it from Wesam and Isaiah. And
absolutely.
and I imagined it was the same was going on with you guys. So
Oh yeah.
it was like a challenge.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way we
Challenge
could have stopped.
accepted.
We're all like,
Right.
this is awesome, right? Yeah, we got this. Dying right when I get to the top. So we parked our bikes in front of this mozzarella shop, and then in front of this pottery shop, which we'll talk about that as well. Inside the pottery, they did this thing called kintsugi, which is a way to fix broken pottery with gold, and it's pretty symbolic because it's more beautiful now that even though it's broken, it's been fixed with gold.
Awesome.
I have a sharp pain in my sinuses. Awesome. Oh my
Just
god,
fix it with
worst pain
gold.
I've ever felt in my sinuses. Great, and it's gone, and my left eye is watering like crazy. I'm dying. Great.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Anyways.
that mozzarella store was looks so yummy. I'm sorry we couldn't get some.
That's my only regret of the entire trip.
Next year, baby.
Yeah.
We wanted to go, and then we didn't that time, and we went back, and it was closed.
But the reason why we didn't, which I think we're gonna get into it, which is part of the incredibleness of our trip. We parked our bikes thinking, or at least I thought we were gonna come right back within the next 30 minutes to an hour. We didn't come back to our bikes for another 12 hours. I did the
Until
math.
that evening.
Yeah, 12 hours. We left our bikes in some random spot.
And
Which, by the way, super safe because there's no crime in Japan. There's no crime.
Everyone leaves their bikes out. Everyone.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. When we told Natsumi, he's like, hey, isn't it crazy? Like you leave your bikes out. Like in America, you can't do that. She's like, why? She's like, oh, people would steal it. She's like, what are they gonna do when they steal it? And they're like, we're like, oh, sell it or use it. She's like, oh yeah, we don't do that here.
Right. And they were like, so there's no crime here? She goes, no.
Can't have guns.
People walking.
Yeah, can't have guns.
Oh, it's a very difficult process
Right.
to get guns. Which, here's the thing. This is my stance on that, just on a side note. We need to have a system where if it's harder to get your driver's license than a gun, come on. At least make it, oh, no, you got to take a course. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Now that you've taken the course, somebody has to make sure you have a place in your home. Like somebody comes and goes, hey, where do you keep, where are you going to plan on keeping your gun for long periods of time when it's not in use or whatever?
Yeah.
I think I like that system, where
Yeah.
you have to go through a course,
Make it
safety
harder.
course, a huge background check. Because I'm sorry, I just don't want crazy people having guns. I don't understand people's debate where it's like, no, you're taking away my right to have a gun. No, I just don't want crazy people
Right.
or criminals to have guns. Is that okay?
Right.
People with like diagnosed severe mental illness, like if you have bipolar disorder, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, I don't want you having a gun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can have a knife.
A bat.
Yeah.
So anyway, what? Oh yeah. So we left the bikes.
Oh, how about though? I wrote this down. It's so great. There's like some strip, and we hit it too. And we went back on the last day or the second to last day. There's like that last strip is like a huge wind tunnel, and that first day we went,
a bike riding.
we like turned the corner and it was like. I was like, whoa, it was windy. And then like we kept going, and then like it just got windier and windier. And
Yeah.
I had to like lift my front wheel up to go down on the curb, and I lifted it up, and it like I started wheeling, and I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna take off. It felt like a tsunami. It was so
And it also
windy.
felt like it was so windy. It felt like we were going uphill, but
Yeah.
we weren't.
Yeah,
and
it was so
like,
hard to
but the way
pedal.
we were biking,
I was like, what is this? This is comical.
That during that part, a leaf hit me in the face. Felt like somebody slapped me in the face. And I was like, oh, ow, okay. That was part of the excitement though of bike riding. You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to avoid people, and you seem to have really bad luck with people on the street, John.
God,
And you did this thing, which I was like, it just became comical at some point. At first, I was like, all right, man, you got to stop ringing the bell.
Oh my god. Because your bike was like the only one that the bell worked.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like ding ding ding, and he just kept doing it.
You're doing it. Oh my
And I felt, because I was like leading the pack, and so I kept hearing it behind me. I'm like, dude, stop. I'm like,
I was
embarrassed,
trying
'cause
to help you out though. That's why.
they look
Some
and see
people
me.
would move though.
Well, yeah, even with the bell, and they see me, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not ringing the bell.
I liked
It's
it.
behind me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was fun.
Did
But
he-
also, I feel like I don't know about you guys. You guys are pretty smooth at weaving in and out of people. I just felt like I was going to hit people. I almost hit. some people don't give a
Yeah.
blank or like whatever. Oh yeah, we can cuss here. But some people just don't give a fuck, and they're like, they will walk towards you, see the bike coming, they don't care. It's
Yeah.
almost like challenge, and I'm like, okay, you win. I'm not gonna get arrested in
Dude,
Japan or
especially
get
that
into a fight in
Time we
Japan
were
because I
going
hit somebody.
downhill. I was like, "Hey, I'm going downhill." They're not moving.
Oh,
and it's
those
a
were
small
officers,
sidewalk.
right?
No. These were just. It was an old guy, and I was like, "Hey, man." As I'm going down, he's not moving, and I'm like, "I can't go to the left, and you're not giving me enough room to the right. Am I gonna hit you, dude?"
Oh my gosh.
So annoying, but
It was,
I hit him.
yeah, it was an experience. But made
I
it
hit
fun.
him.
We left the bikes, and we went to, which was on our list, this place called
Oh my god.
Coffee Mamea. This was probably one of the most amazing highlights of the trip.
Highlights?
Highlights, I'm dying. Highlights of the trip.
Yeah.
And there's no sign. You have this amazing entryway with this one plant and these
It's like a rock.
6x6 small gold covered squares all in one giant square, like art piece on the wall, and it's so zen when you walk in, and there's a line. Yep. And for the people at home, they can check it out.
That's the
Actually,
entrance.
Peyton, Peyton's gonna have a lot of our videos, so there'll be a little flash of it on the screen
Awesome.
you guys can see. Absolutely an experience. You have to try this place. We waited in line for a good amount of time, and there was only like 4 people in front of us.
Yeah.
We waited maybe, 20, 25 minutes?
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 30 minutes
Yeah.
to just even order.
And in America, people would have
To
been
get coffee,
pissed.
imagine waiting
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, yeah. When we get up there, what I loved was how the guy said, thank you for waiting.
Yeah.
First thing he said.
Yeah. And we were like, yeah, of course. And then he asked us if we've ever been here before. And we're like, no. And so he went through his whole spiel. I have it.
While more people were waiting right behind
Yeah.
us, didn't care.
Didn't
Even
care.
longer line forming, yeah, but
Yeah.
they treat you like you're the most important thing when
Yeah,
you're right there.
no rush.
Yeah. And he's like, we're not roasters. We're not farmers. We just focus on the brewing of coffee, the barista part. And he went through his spiel, the different levels of coffee, what kind of beans, and the way he described every coffee. I was like, whoa, this guy knows his stuff to a level that is just,
Yeah.
I didn't think was possible with just coffee.
Yeah. No, he a master. Like we kept running
Sensei.
into that. Yeah. I guess they offered probably 36 coffees or something like that. That's how many different, and it goes by the roast level. So you like start up here, and it's the lightest roast they have to like their darkest roast.
Yeah.
And then you see, and he'll walk you through. Like you'll ask, "What's this one taste like?" or "What's good? What do you like? What do you normally drink?" And then you kind of pick. It's a strictly pour over bar. So then you pick your bean, and then they grind it fresh on the spot, and then they do a pour over for you. And it's like a section. So you order with the guy, and then there's the guy that brews it, and then there's the guy that strictly like bags the coffee and grinds it and sets it all up.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's just
That's
3 guys.
Incredible.
Everything's minimal. There's no like. It's just like cement or whatever that is, and like wood. That's it.
Stripped down.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I feel like a theme of the 3 of us, how we kind of like things that are just stripped down and like only use what's necessary. The only things that are there is what's necessary. There's no extraneous stuff.
Yes. It was. One thing that blew me away was the type of funnels they used for the pour over
Oh, right.
part for each bean. Like,
Yeah.
and what would help enhance
Oh,
that
right,
coffee,
right. It
which
was
I
very
didn't know about, which you
specific.
told me about. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Of course
Yeah.
you would
Like
use
the
the
larger
proper
hole or smaller
instrument
hole.
for the proper bean. And so we paralleled a lot of that stuff to acting, And we were like, oh, you use the proper technique for
Right.
the proper part in the role or for a proper role or whatever. Excuse me. Watching those 3 masters work, it was like watching 3 coffee spirit
Yeah.
nymphs or like whatever you want to say, and there was no door
Yeah. That's what added
behind.
to it.
Yeah, it
more,
looked like they just
how did
appeared
they?
there.
Yeah. How do you get in?
Right.
They
Right.
looked like the 3 coffee immortals just making brewing perfect coffee
Yeah.
constantly. And I think one of the geishas that time. Oh,
I had
Yeah.
a geisha there too. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, and they were like $8. $8.
Oh,
Mine,
mine
or
was
mine was
12.
12.
Yeah, I mean like
yeah.
average probably $8 for
Yeah.
a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And it's Japanese size, so they'll give you that's probably 12 ounces, maybe 10.
Oh no, yeah, 10.
Oh no,
10.
yeah, I'm sorry, because we do. Yeah, so it was probably 10 or 8.
8,
something
yeah,
like that.
8 to 10. I feel like
You're
was
paying $8. It's like $1 an ounce, probably.
Hey, and you know what? Didn't care.
Did not
Yeah.
even look at the price.
Nope.
Not once.
That was also another thing about. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, thanks to Josh, and I feel like you've been on this journey too. But Josh, this trip has introduced me to coffee in like a whole different way. It really feels like you're talking about wine, and like the regions of the certain beans. I learned about what overdeveloped and underdeveloped. But like these coffee places, thanks to you guys, I was able to like just really submerge myself and just like learn. I had no idea coffee was like this.
Yeah.
So I was just along for the ride. So thank you for
That's
like
cool. That's a cool way to
Yeah.
experience it.
yeah.
Dude, how incredible was that one bag of coffee that smelled like chocolate candy?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm not exaggerating. Fellas, he opened the bag, let us smell it, and we were like, get the hell out of here, man. That's chocolate candy.
Yeah,
No
you
joke.
grabbed the wrong
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, obviously that's chocolate candy.
Coffee bean. That's crazy.
It was a geisha. I'm sad I don't remember. It was a geisha from.
I have a picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the thing about those rarity types is that it takes, if I'm not mistaken, exponentially longer for the coffee bean to actually fruit, the coffee plant to fruit.
Right.
That's why it costs so much for
Yeah.
the bean, because they're not fruiting immediately or after a certain normal time. And the elevation, you said, has a lot to do with the taste of coffee too.
Right. Yeah. Elevation, and that one was like a naturally processed geisha, which is even more off the chains. And yeah, that definitely the best cup of coffee I've ever had in my life. And that's what they were saying too. I wasn't probably gonna get it, but then and then that happened the last time I went too. But they were all saying, all three of them were like, this cup of coffee is crazy. We're freaking out about it. And so I was like, oh, we should
Well, you have to
it.
try it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I see why.
And you're in Japan during your first
Yeah.
international trip.
Oh yeah. Well,
And like I don't know if you mentioned the actual location at the beginning, but the outside, how it's just bare bones. If you didn't know where you were going, you would have
Oh, you
walked
would
right
miss it.
past it, which
Yeah.
I love. I'm a huge fan of hidden in plain sight, and that was exactly what that location was. And very like it felt like a dojo.
100%.
Yeah.
What I appreciated so much about that place, and one of the things I want to share with everybody, is that the location was actually not a great location if you really look at it.
Yeah.
It was actually off the busy path in the
In a
middle of a
neighborhood.
residential
Yeah.
area. And, however, despite their circumstances, they focused so much on the actual brewing of the coffee. And we're like, we are going to not just brew great coffee, we're going to excel at it. We're going to transcend the whole experience of buying coffee from us and really dial it in and really sharpen it to the nth degree that it doesn't matter where we're located at. People will find us. And that's what I think a lot of artists and actors especially should focus on. In spite of your circumstances, you should focus on developing good technique, good craft, good auditioning skills. This is something like we push and we've talked about consistently, and something that I was like, from the very beginning after my pilot for Zubiquity wasn't picked up, I'm like, you know what? That's it. I can only focus on how good I am as an actor. That's one of the few things I have control over. So I'm going to focus on that so hard that they can't ignore me anymore, that they have to go, oh, crap, we have to hire him or have to make a role for him. And so you need to, as an actor, find the things you have control over, focus on that, and everything else, just overcome that with what you can control. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be back with the rest of that day. I think I'm gonna do the radio show from this stance. for the
It looks
rest
like
of
a good, safe stance away from things on the ground that you might be scared of.
Do you remember this, Jonte? Oh man, you don't remember? Oh great, we'll bring it up here in a little bit because this happened later on in the day.
Oh, is this the animal cafe?
Yeah, the animal. Dude, you and animals, bro. This, I hope it like broke some barriers for you. I hope this trip.
did.
I
a lot of-
wonder what I was in a past life. Oh, some
Obviously killed by every animal. In all your past lives, you've been killed by every single animal. No. So back to we left Cafe Mamea. I had a donut at this just random donut place we walked by.
yeah.
Good town.
No.
Oh
Before
no.
Before that, I
Yeah.
had a donut, which was just plain. It was just fried dough.
Oh, yeah,
I
that was
like,
awesome.
Oh, I'll take that. And then we ended up walking to this nice shopping area that led us to Good Time Donuts.
Good town.
Good Town.
Good town donuts.
Amazing donuts.
They have them out here in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was an incredible experience. And then we got to do a little bit of shopping in that area, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah, Kittyland.
Dude, Kittyland was for kids. And however, some of the things in there, maybe kids shouldn't play with.
There's so many butt cheeks.
Yeah.
I think the Japanese love that.
Yeah. It's
They
very
love the butt cheeks.
Yeah, like very cartoonish.
Like
butt cheek.
cartoon characters, but
Yeah.
they're like butts out, and you see like the butt cheeks, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it's very odd.
Very specific and weird.
Very. What did we see there? It was. Oh, dude, it was the start of us becoming more comfortable talking with people in Japanese.
Uh-huh.
Remember, like we would be like, "Konnichiwa," and then we'd be, what else would we say?
Daijobu.
Daijobu.
Is it okay?
It's
Are you
okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Or it's okay.
Oh, but yeah, it's okay, or it could also mean no. So it's kind of meant. It's meant for like kind of like a handful of things.
Oh, okay.
Like okay or no or
That's
no
okay.
no.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Daijoubu.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, we started becoming more comfortable that day with those talks.
You two especially. You guys got really good.
Well, Jonte, you were very comfortable talking. but,
Towards like the last 4 days or so.
Well,
I had to look at some YouTube.
but, dude, we'll talk about this in a little bit. You had me crying laughing at times. So I was inappropriately laughing because we'd be in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, dude, Jonte
we
would
would
just
we would start a conversation like, oh, konnichiwa, and we'll try to like figure something out.
yeah.
And then Jonte will just butt in, like he's in the background. He'll just come in and go, oh, gome, and we're like, hey, why are you saying sorry
For no
for
reason.
no reason? He's just
Practicing
coming in
my
like, oh,
Japanese.
sorry guys.
Sorry and
Felt good.
please.
Oh no.
Kudasai.
It's funny that you guys say that. I actually still don't know how to say please. I think I was probably trying to say something else. And then
Konnichiwa.
you guys
like
you guys picked up please and I never said anything. But you guys were like laughing, dying hard because you thought I kept saying please, but I still don't know how to say please even now in Japanese.
We'd be in the taxi already headed towards our place, and then Jonte would just go, Kudasai, gome. Like, please,
sorry,
I'm
please, I'm sorry.
I'm like, Jonte,
Stop.
you're confusing. You sound like crazy.
We gotta get to the night in Kyoto.
Oh, dude.
I almost peed myself.
Dude, and like, dude, what was it like this eighth, ninth day there? Dude, I can barely talk right now. I apologize to the listeners. I'm barely alive at this point. We were asking that girl the directions to the library, and I for sure knew you were upset with me. You had to be upset with me for the laughing I was doing, because we were asking her, "Do you know the library, like where it is?" And
Oh.
Jonte was talking with her.
Oh, inside. No,
Yeah.
inside the library.
No, outside the library.
Oh, we were just asking the girl.
Yeah, and then she
walking.
was already leading us there, and then Jonte, you go, gome kudasai. You go, gome kudasai. Ego.
I said gome. I didn't say the kudasai thing. Maybe I was trying to say something else, but I was trying to say
You had learned a phrase which
yeah,
is like, do you
ego,
speak
yeah,
English?
ego murisaka or muriaska or something.
Right, and that's what he would say every time. Is that
right,
exact
right.
mess up?
Dude,
And so no one knew. They're like, "What?"
but the look you had on your face was like almost panicked. I was like, dude,
Because I thought I was saying
Echo
something. Right.
Murasaki, and they're like, "What?"
Arimaska. Something maska. Like,
Arimaska.
yeah, arimaska or something.
Yeah. Ego arimaska.
by that day,
They're just-
I was just laughing my ass off. I couldn't stop.
I did get
laughing.
pissed at. I think during that time, yeah.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
for
I
sure
was-
you did.
Yeah.
I was like, these assholes. I'm over here like, I'm so. Oh yeah, I think I snapped and said sorry. I don't. Or like.
Yeah, like your Japanese is better. And I'm
Right,
like,
right. Sorry, I'm
It's
not
not-
fluent in Japanese
I'm like,
you
neither am
guys
I. But
are.
dude, you're stopping halfway through the word and just going ego.
Because I was trying to remember what the next word was.
Dude.
But yeah.
Dude, I was crying. And
So
one of the
many
best
points in the trip.
Back to after Good Town Donuts, and we actually found during that time Harajuku, which I was like, oh man, we have to hit up Harajuku.
And we stumbled upon it.
And we stumbled upon
We're
Harajuku.
like,
But
wait,
when you were
we're here.
asking about it, we were actually in
Yeah.
Harajuku.
yeah.
I think the area like reminded you of what you thought Harajuku would be. So you're like, yeah, we gotta go to Harajuku.
And they're
then
looking
we
at
were looking
store
at
signs.
and it was like Nike Harajuku, and we are like,
I think we're in Harajuku.
Dude, it would be a hipster's dream to visit Harajuku.
Yeah. That's
They
right,
would
you were
just
saying that.
live there.
yep,
The amount of styles and the quirkiness of that place was
yeah,
very, very Japanese, like what you imagine. I feel like the more extreme side of Japan, modernized. We went into that cool sticker shop,
yep.
and we actually went to Yogi Park.
Yogi.
Yogi, excuse me,
To take a nap.
to take a little bit nap. It
Yeah.
was nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah. We went back and we went to the Pet Cafe, which was one of my favorite times there.
Funny, I don't have
The
that on my list.
Otter Cafe or something.
Yeah.
Animal. I don't have that on my list.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder why. Traumatized?
we're gonna.
I
probably-
actually forgot to put that on my list.
We'll play like a little clip from that
God.
for this section on the
man.
YouTube video of watching Jonte with a rabbit
So as an animal cafe, there was otters, rabbits,
and these little like
chinchillas.
yeah they were like
Like
Oh,
little
like
that
Pikachus?
little
rat
fucker.
kangaroos.
The
Oh,
little
Pikachus.
chinchilla thing.
Little fucker, huh?
Yeah, that thing bit me.
It bit your shirt, or did it bite you?
It bit my shirt, but it could have bit me if I didn't respond so quickly.
Well, I loved your defensive posture with the rabbit, first of all, which I've never seen.
We were in the rabbit zone, and then the rabbit like gave a little nibble on
We
your
said,
leg.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
and then after that,
the rabbit was hungry.
I was on guard.
Yeah.
He was all good petting it, and then after it nibbled, his hands were up here, and he was like, "Let's get out."
more like a soldier would stand.
Oh,
That was kind of
Have you
my
seen a soldier stand
posture.
like- Have you ever seen a soldier?
In what army, sir?
Just very defensive, waiting to
This
attack
is my defense.
if being attacked upon. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's play the clip.
Oh, he just bit me. You wanna he like bit? Yeah, you bit me. Sorry. Oh, no. Where's he going? Oh, there he goes. Sorry, he bit me. Oh, whoa! Hey! What's going on?
Arigato. 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 Arigato.
Oh, no, it's okay.
It's okay.
Let's see the soldier.
And that little chinchilla thing pooped on you.
That's right, it did
after
poop on-
bit you,
It
and
bit,
you
and then
jumped off your lap and went behind your back.
Yeah, which I thought was gonna go up my back or something.
Yeah,
That thing
I
was
bet you
very
thought the
agile.
worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then pooped on you, and that employee just picked up the poop.
Like it was no one's business.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun in that cafe, dude.
For you, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was just constantly laughing. And when that whole moment with was that the chinchilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I couldn't breathe. Thought for sure I'm gonna wet myself because I was laughing so hard.
So worth it.
Yeah.
I was ready to leave.
We went to an awesome Another awesome pub kind of place. It was like an
Oh, yeah.
Americanized pub almost, right?
Baird.
Bard beer? Baird beer?
Baird. I still don't know how to say it. Baird.
Yeah.
Brewery.
Brewery. The wasabi potato salad. Remember
Baird.
that?
That was awesome.
Bard.
Oh, so good.
That was great.
Yeah. Were you going to say something?
I was gonna say, I think even before we went to the pub, we went to another coffee place. I have on my notes, Coffee Supreme.
Oh,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
before the.
That was after
Animal.
the nap.
After the nap, yeah,
Yeah.
and then before the pub.
Coffee Supreme was good.
Yeah.
I had espresso there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really
Cool
good.
location.
Very
It's very
cool.
cool. It felt like an outdoor kind of coffee spot.
Excuse me.
We went to that brewery. I had a great time. Really deep talk number 5 I have. So
Yeah, that was a
Yeah, oh
great
gosh.
that's
night.
our
that was-
5th deep talk of the trip.
It was.
And it felt like an
very-
American bar almost.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot of the customers were speaking English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were actually, there was a nice moment in there where we had a beer. What was it called?
Oh, Wabi
Josh?
Sabi.
Oh, that's right.
And we were actually in the middle of a conversation that reflected wabi sabi.
Which is like a philosophy in Japan that basically is like the beauty in that which is decaying or that which is like not old or like ugly essentially, and it's like the beauty that's in that.
Right.
So it's so crazy how that was kind of a underlying theme in our trip,
Yeah.
like death,
Yeah.
but the beauty in death.
Yeah.
Yeah. And almost like the death of certain aspects of your life, you know? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like if you are trying to get to that next level in your work or your craft, there has to be some kind of death, something you have to leave behind, I feel like.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can't go forward. It's almost like shedding weight.
And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it felt like it was thematically perfect for our trip because, again, in Japan, they were literally on the precipice of a new, or the genesis of a new era, a changing of the guard,
Right,
if you
yeah.
will. And then if you think about us in terms of our trip, at least in my experience, like coming back, I had such this whole new light in terms of the approach to our work. So almost like shedding how I used to work into this new level of work. And that definitely came from many deep conversations with you guys, but then also my own personal spiritual experience
Yeah.
and journey throughout the trip.
Yeah, we experienced, I feel like at certain times, at the appropriate times, the right time of experiencing things. And for me, I'm so glad I went on this trip. Not when I intended to, which was last year before my dad's accident, because I was like, oh, I'm going to go. And then my dad had the accident. I was like, oh, I can't go anytime soon. There's no way. And now that my dad's been getting better and everything, and we planned the trip, there was so much more meaning and depth to everything we experienced, especially after experiencing something that challenging, challenging and dark, you know? So I think it's really important that you experience things at the right time. Otherwise, they don't have the meaning they should. It's like that quote I told you guys from Hamlet, where he talks about, you know, if you're not ready to receive certain things, if you're reading something in a book that's might be the ultimate truth, all they are is words, words, words. They have no meaning. So I'm really glad we went at the time we went.
Yeah. And then to punctuate that, we took a long bike ride home that led us through a cemetery.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. You got to
which-
take a moment. You stopped.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a little eerie, but kind of cool at the same time. And then as we continued the bike ride, we just crossed into this park that
Being chased, it felt like we were being chased
Well,
by
right.
police.
We were kind of.
yeah, that wasn't supposed to have bikes
Right.
in it.
We didn't know that
or
till
no
later.
traffic at all
Yeah.
at night,
Right.
especially. But it was the statue of the samurai.
Awesome
And
statue.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I took a picture of it, and it's my background on my phone. And I was like, wow. Like, I'm obsessed with samurai culture. So it was a nice little surprise to end the night, especially after our deep, deep conversation that night. That was probably one of the.
And just so happened into that park. We didn't cross that park on the way up, which was
That
Yeah.
really
section of it,
interesting.
yeah.
Right.
That
Right.
was the Imperial Park.
Right.
There, but we didn't go into that part at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, very thematic with the trip.
Absolutely. Next day, was a rainy day.
Rain is what I have.
Yeah,
rain,
and-
rain.
Let me just say this about the subway system in Tokyo and the train system in general. Best in the world.
Yeah.
I've tried London's, America's, New York and Chicago and LA's, Rome's, Paris's, and Dubai's. Tokyo's number one.
Wow.
You can't beat it. No one can beat it. No graffiti, so clean. Everybody's so
Super
quiet.
clean.
Smells fine. Doesn't smell bad at all.
Trains come always on time.
Yeah, even Natsumi was saying sometimes they're late because people jump in front of the trains on Mondays.
But on Mondays, which
Mondays.
that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
But even then, it wasn't like a huge
Yeah.
delay. Everything was on time. And if you miss that train, there's like another one
Right.
right behind
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Their system was so efficient, and it makes me jealous.
And just like I love how it seems like from the history it started in the subway, and then as things evolved and they built, then now they have trains on top. So it was like subway, and I forgot there was another name for the trains at the top, maybe
Right.
just trains. But
Trams, I don't know.
yeah. But it was just so efficient everywhere, and their bus system super efficient, and it was pretty. After like the first day, felt like got a really great handle on reading the maps, and it was just very easy. You can get everywhere
Yeah.
by their public transportation. Seriously,
Not complicated at all.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
but Again, like you
user
said,
friendly.
Yeah. It even tells you which entrance to go into, and they're all numbered.
Yeah.
Which I
That
thought that
was
was really
insane, yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
We I don't maybe New York has that, maybe.
Yeah.
But outside of that, really don't see that anywhere.
Google kept telling me, "Hey, how crowded was the train?" Just so people could know if it's crowded or
Oh,
not.
wow.
And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
like
It's like
not that-
Waze.
like 1 through 5." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like so we can." I thought
That's
that
cool.
was really cool. Yeah, we had that amazing curry. We went through Shinjuku through those like tight alleyways.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Piss Alley. I think that's called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which, by the way, doesn't smell like piss.
Yeah, I don't know why. I wonder why it's called that. But it's so cool.
Brett told me. I didn't know that was Piss Alley.
Yeah.
Brett told me to go visit Piss Alley.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, oh, that he told me it was named that because drunk businessmen would go there after work
Ah,
and they used to
get pissed.
piss.
Oh, get
Oh.
pissed.
No, piss in the
Oh,
alley.
oh,
Piss
oh.
drunk
Yeah.
and piss.
Yeah, they used to get drunk and they used to get really drunk and piss in the alleyway there. Yeah.
It
And
was so cool.
yeah.
Very tight quarters, and there's like small yakitori's who would like they'd be like, "Hey, come on in," and I'm like, "Dude, there's like 6 of the same places."
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's the area again, it looks like a great location for filming, but also they were very traditional in a sense. They didn't really invite foreigners or outsiders if you didn't speak Japanese or right. Wasn't that the area where
They talked about that in one of the things I read, but they seemed very inviting to us.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
So
true.
I don't know, maybe like certain places have changed. I mean, we only experienced that once, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
At the pottery
Yeah.
shop.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. But amazing place. The curry was perfect.
That was amazing
Yeah.
curry.
Your umbrellas broke.
I think I
horribly
was the
'cause of
first one.
wind. That
I was
really
victim
funny.
number one.
Yeah.
It's windy and cold.
Very. We went to Blue Bottle Coffee, which was great. Another coffee place that
Oh yeah,
day.
in the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we visited the Samurai Museum, which was a nice little treat there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to learn a lot about the history.
Great history.
Wesam got to go up at the end and do a little samurai
Of course,
thing.
was the only, and then they only asked for one volunteer, and of course
Immediately
it was Wesam.
Raised
Josh and I both looked at Wesam like you have to be the one out
yeah.
of this group.
I didn't care there were kids there.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
yeah.
Didn't care.
You look like you were in heaven. You look like a 7-year-old boy.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I loved it so much. I think I could have just. I might have been a samurai in my past life. Probably. But I loved it when the first thing they were like showing us, like he was like, "Okay, copy me with the sword techniques," and he's like, at the end you go, you yell, and I'm like, "You want me to yell?"
yeah.
That's
do a
right.
kick?
They're like,
That's
"Ugh."
right.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he would go, "Huh."
Yeah.
And I was like,
literally
"All
that
right."
loud, like, ugh.
Oh yeah,
That's
I was
it.
like,
And then when Wesam did it,
I was like, cool.
People jumped. People
were like
jumped.
shocked. And then the samurai was like, oh, very good, very good.
And I'm like, oh, maybe not do that.
Yeah, maybe
Even our tour guide was like, "Whoa."
Well, I asked him about Ben K, which I told you
Oh,
guys
right.
that story about that awesome samurai who stood at the the drawbridge for his
Yeah.
Samurai's Castle. And he's like, "Oh, you know Ben K?" Or I called it Ben Kai, and he's like, "Yes, Ben K." He's like, "How do you know Ben K?" I was like, "I don't know, just know." So that place was amazing, and
Yeah.
watching how old those swords were.
Yeah.
What some were from like the 1600s.
It's insane.
You're like, what? And how long it took to make them?
Yeah.
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 That to me was amazing. We went mall shopping a little bit that round. We went sushi go round.
Oh, we had drinks though that night at
Oh,
the
yeah, at the
top.
mall,
That was
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That beer flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, their beer there. Let's talk about that. Isaiah?
So Japanese.
So light.
It literally is Japan, and like if you have American beer, you drink it, and you go to Japan and drink a Japanese beer, and you're like, okay, this is like what Japan's like. Everything about it's transparent, it's subtle, the flavors aren't too big, it's like polite, easy to drink, and I'm like, that's Japan. It's so Japan. And yeah, well, an American beer would be like huge flavors, like in your face, bitter, strong, and it's like, I thought that was beautiful. And every beer I had there was on that same level, and I was like, well, this is great.
Yeah.
My kombucha, which by the way felt very
like a
feminine,
champagne.
yeah, came in a wine glass with a flower on the top, but it was like very floral. Like
Yeah.
like even the kombucha was it was nice, and yeah, everything was transparent. Even the coffee
Yeah,
felt
subtle.
very transparent.
Yeah,
That was incredible.
Love it.
We went back to Tokyo Station because,
Sushi.
again, serendipitous. So glad we checked our bullet train information because you actually have to sign in with your passports and stuff. And the time we wanted to go on the bullet train, we couldn't have experienced that
Right.
because we wanted to go super early. So we would have to wait till they opened.
It
at
wouldn't have
8
been,
or
yeah,
9, whatever.
yeah, like 2 or 3 hours later.
Yeah, so glad we checked that. We checked into the bullet train so we can go the next morning to Kyoto and Nara. And yeah, we ate sushi go around that day at
Super
the
good.
Tokyo Station. It was so good there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The
Yeah.
quality was amazing.
and then that night was the guy in the shower.
Oh, that's right.
Dude.
That on my list.
Woo.
Dude, that guy. So I get out of the shower.
Sam's face.
We both ended up showering at the same time, so
Yeah.
we both heard it.
Yeah, and I took a video of my face.
I was already in my pod, dying laughing from the video that you were sitting in our group text.
Yeah, so I got out of the shower, gentlemen.
I was in the shower and I was like, that's a weird noise. And I was like, maybe it's like a faucet or something. And then I got out and I was like, I'm still hearing it. I'm like, is it someone like playing a video on their phone? And I was like, it sounds really suspect. And I was like, okay. And I just kind of left it at that. And I was like, maybe something's happening. And then I went downstairs into my pod and then I get the video from Wesam.
I'll do the sounds. Okay? Mind you, it's a pretty quiet shower area.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
mean-
5 stalls or
You
so.
hear this just. Oh. Oh.
Like washing.
And you, dude, and the thing that made me cringe and get nauseous because I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I hear this. Oh, I got 5 pounds on you.
Still to this day, we don't know what that means.
What? Yeah. What? It sounds gross. First of all, it sounds so gross.
Whatever it means.
Ew. Ew. What is going on in there? I want to look, but I don't want to look. I just need to know. Took a video of it, of me reacting to the video, and I'm just the
can
whole
hear
video
it.
is me
Of it.
just I'm just like,
The look,
I'm
the look
pointing.
on your face. I didn't know what was funnier, the sounds or the look on your face as you're like visually commentary.
yeah, and it's like 30-second intervals too.
Right.
So then I'm like, dude, crazy guy. Next day,
The bullet run. The
Oh.
bullet train.
yeah,
Full on sprint. Full on sprint in the train station.
So we had to
only-
make it.
That was
Yeah.
our rudest, probably.
oh yeah,
That was the one time I felt very American on the trip.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to miss that.
First train.
We wanted to
First
get the
train.
Yeah,
first
that was
train
the
out
first
to
train.
Kyoto, and
Yeah.
we were
6 a.m.
barely
train.
gonna make it.
And
Literally,
We
1
were on
minute.
the platform. Well, at least my Instagram story says 5:55 a.m. when I thought we were kind of cool, but then didn't realize we were on because we have to be in the cars, I guess between 1 and 3, and we were on
the
near
back.
near 16. So
Oh,
then
so
we
far
did
away.
a full. It was
Sprint.
long. It was long.
15
Full
carts.
sprint. Hell yeah. Might be wondering why I'm out of breath. We are running to catch this bullet train.
Yeah, 15 or 16 cars, car train lengths, and dude, that. Oh my God, the bullet train, the fastest thing I've ever been on. in my
Man,
entire
It's like
it
life.
was so pretty
as
looking
fast
too.
as a plane.
It's,
what it felt
it's 300 miles per hour,
Yeah.
which is insane
Yeah.
for a train to go. I mean, if you think about what Formula One cars and those, they don't go that fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going like as fast as a low like
When you're taking
jet.
off, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
or
yeah.
like when you're coming in for landing.
because
but-
like bigger jets they go like between 400 500 miles per hour.
Ours went. I looked. Ours was going around 650 miles per hour. The plane.
And it was
Right.
like,
What?
Yeah.
and it was so high.
during like mid-flight. It was like 650
because
miles
we
per
had
hour.
that tailwind, remember?
Yeah.
And it was rare for that, so we got there.
And we were
super
so
early.
high. You're right.
there, like, yeah.
That was the highest I've ever been in a plane.
Same,
It was like
40,000 feet.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, whoa.
Hey,
Too high. Yeah.
At some point, I think it was like 42,000. That was crazy.
I'm not exaggerating. When I looked out the window, I was like, "That's really
That's
space.
right. That's right.
That's
You
really
could-
dark blue, like
Yeah.
really dark blue."
like at the horizon, it's bright, and then you look up, it's dark blue. Right.
So sketch. I was like,
That's the atmosphere. Yeah.
So we get to Kyoto, and it's totally not like the rest of Tokyo. at
Oh
all.
yeah. Feels like a different trip.
Yeah,
We found our home.
yeah. And then we immediately, when we got to Kyoto, the train station, we took the train to Nara, which was cool.
Yeah.
We had coffee there, which was the worst coffee we had on the whole trip. And it would taste just like regular American coffee you would get anywhere. But yeah, that was the worst coffee. But we traveled the train to Nara.
Where
did-
Josh thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thought you lost your phone.
Yeah, for a brief moment. And then we were like, let's just get on the train. And Josh was like, he doesn't have his phone with him. Why
Yeah.
are we getting on the
And I
plane?
made this dramatic, like, very actory moment. And I didn't want to be too big just because we're in Japan, but I wanted to be big enough that
Yeah.
it
you
made
had
Josh
really
think
lost your
that I
phone.
lost my phone. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
When we get to Nara, I think I was the most excited I've ever been on this. There it is again. These cans, because of the angle and the soundproof of this room, they make that ding, ding, ding. So I actually have to put it right there, or else I hear the reverberation from it. Anyway,
Say the ding, ding, ding.
ding, ding. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we'll
That's
get-
Well,
Kyoto.
oh, yeah,
Coming
we'll
up.
get there.
Coming up. So we get to Nara, and it's heaven on earth for me. It's hell on earth for you. That's for sure. With the
Well,
deer.
There's just deer everywhere.
It was purgatory. At that point, I already had my hell on earth with the chinchilla.
We actually have to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. So we get to Nara, and it's heaven on earth for me. There's deer everywhere, and they are the most incredible things you will encounter, probably if you ever go to Japan. The way they interact with you, they're super friendly. They're so used to people, and one of the coolest things is when you bow to them, they bow back.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
want some
That's
food from
right.
you. Oh my gosh.
They're so
Arigato.
respectful. The
So-
deer are so respectful.
Arigato.
Nara, for me, I could live there for the rest of my life and be happy. With the amount of temples and how spiritual I felt of that place, I mean, incredible. Absolutely incredible for me. So green, the energy was just so amazing. I know you had a little bit of a cool experience. I don't want to say cool experience, but we went to Taidoji. Wait, hold on. What is that place called?
Talk about where the Buddha temple-
Tadaji. Tadaji Temple, where the
Yeah.
giant Buddha temple
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Like right before we walked in.
Yeah.
You know that experience you had?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. you kind of had something spiritual go on, like in a little awakening process. Something happened, and then
Let
you
it
went in
go.
there, and it was like this enlightening moment as you walked through the temple.
Yeah, right before there, or right before we went there, just happened to look on Instagram, and I saw, and I saw someone's success, which was really amazing for them. But then I got really, I guess, actory, and I felt myself doing a little comparisitis, and it hit me, and I got. And usually that's not me, but for whatever reason it hit me in
Yeah.
a way, and it kind of made me pissed, and then it made me kind of look at myself and like, what am I doing? And then but it was perfect that it happened then, because it was literally right as it was after the deer, going up into this temple, and then I just get this huge wave of being overwhelmed by this ginormous. First, the temple is ginormous, and then the Buddha that was inside the temple, and it hit me. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, and in that moment, very spiritual, coming coming to Jesus, but coming to Buddha, if you will, moment, and everything that I felt kind of went to the wayside. I forgot what I shared with you though, Wesam, about that moment, but I do remember just coming to this very high spiritual place, and whatever I was feeling kind of went away. But I remember that was the first time that I did not take any pictures, just because while there were a lot of people around us, it was still kind of touristy, but not really. Like, I feel like the tourists kind of respected the space of this temple, and so it didn't feel very touristy. And
Yeah.
it felt like the three of us had our own individual spiritual moments in that place, but
Yeah.
I didn't take any pictures the first time on the trip, and I was just in awe of this overwhelming. I'm about to cry now just thinking about it. It was the most spiritual it was most connected I've ever felt, ever to my higher God, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very overwhelming. But
It's so cool that you were open and you chose not to be dragged down by that negative thought. You can call it the devil, you can call it your inner demon, you can call it your darker side of you, that whenever you saw this person's success, specifically at that time, that you got that feeling of comparitis and like, why does this person get this? Why am I not getting it, kind of thing. Specifically at that moment, I don't think that was an accident, you know. I think that was almost like you can think of it as a test. You can think of it as your inner demons trying to not let you experience what you experienced, you know, because they knew you were going to have a good experience, so they wanted to throw you off on something. You can look at it that way, but it's really cool. Whatever the reason was, you chose not to go down that negative path and actually still experience what you experienced and realize what you were thinking, what you were feeling was totally unwarranted and doesn't make sense in the long run. And, you know, you're like, that's not who I am. So I don't need to feel like that. Best of luck to them. You know, I'm glad for them, happy for them.
super happy for
And
them.
so it's really cool that you even took this, what could have been a ruined moment, and just didn't let that happen.
Yeah.
And you checked in on me twice. I remember the first time I just couldn't respond to you.
Yeah.
But then after we came out of the temple, then you came back and checked in, and then I shared, and I felt very vulnerable, and I felt stupid. I didn't want to share. In fact, I remember Josh wasn't around when I was sharing
Yeah, it was
with
my
you,
first time hearing this.
and then you were coming by us, and I wanted to hurry up and shut up, which was really interesting. That's how I felt, because this entire trip, I felt like at one way or the other, all of us was vulnerable with each other at like one point. And so now, in speaking that, I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't want to share that when you were there. But I just think I was just super vulnerable, and I didn't want to
Yeah.
or like look weak in front of you guys. But yeah.
Yeah, I could tell something was off. And me being like, first of all, I liked the fact that we're all really cool with each other and we're comfortable, and none of us were like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You know, we were all very open and just we do whatever. But at the same time, we were all being, I think, pretty conscious of not spending money whenever, like, in an like just throwing money away on something.
Right.
And I remember like getting the tickets, and I hadn't checked in with you guys when they were like, "Hey, do you want to pay like, I think it was like $5 for the temple or $10 for the temple and the museum?" And I was like, "Oh, let's do the temple and museum." And I feel like I didn't check in with you guys.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and I felt like that energy from you. I'm like, "Oh shit, I
Right.
didn't check in with them. Are they really? Dude, are you upset? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
like,
had
we don't-
nothing to do with that.
yeah. I'll get you a cup of coffee or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but then I was like, afterwards, I was like, there's no way that was just. There
Right.
has to be something.
So
Right.
bothered by
Yeah, so bothered
Right.
that I was like, there has to be some deeper
Yeah.
thing going on, and yeah, that made me laugh afterwards.
Oh, that's really cool. This is my first time hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
It's a cool experience.
I liked our little walk after the temple where I found those 2 beautiful cups and some other gifts for people.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because they were in shops that weren't very crowded, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy any gift or whatever. I need to find like the stuff I want, and then it all happened at the right time. All the gifts I wanted.
Yeah.
To buy.
That was a lot of I felt the same in terms of when I buy things, I don't want to just buy things to buy them. For me, they have to speak to me. So I don't plan what I'm going to buy, when I'm going to buy. The only time I planned anything was when my mom texted me throughout the trip and was like, can you give me Starbucks mugs? I was like, yes. But outside of that, it was if something spoke to me about that person, then I have to get it. And I was inspired by you with those cups just because of the green tea. I was just so in love with the green tea. So then after you bought the cups, I'm like, oh wait, hey, I do want to continue this tradition back home with the green tea. So I followed your suit and bought cups too. But the one cup that you bought, one of them, which I was really in love with, but at the same time, I thought was perfect for you. And it was the only one left. It was the white one with the ridge on the outside, just that texture I loved. But it was perfect for you. And then the ones that I brought back after I opened up my stuff, I'm like, I'm so happy I got these.
Yeah.
And it's so happy that I got them in Nara.
Yeah. Yeah, something I mentioned to you that I saw resonated with you is I wanted to get cups that also made whatever I was drinking in them appetizing. And I was like, oh, these 2 cups I got, if I have tea or coffee, it's going to look amazing in there. So it's going to look appetizing. Because sometimes you buy a cup. I don't know if you guys have experienced. Maybe I'm thinking too detailed into it. And then I have a drink in there. I'm like, drink doesn't look too great for some whatever reason because of the color of the cup or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
We ended up leaving Nara. We just did those 2 things because we were planning on just going back to Tokyo that night because we wanted to do like 2 things in Kyoto.
Yeah.
On the train ride there, Isaiah planned. Oh, look at he found something. He found what was the monkey park, which had a beautiful view of Kyoto, which I didn't realize till afterwards.
Yeah, we were just going to go to the bamboo park or the bamboo grove, but as I was looking at it, it was like monkey park, and I was like, what's that? I click on that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So I secretly showed Wesam, and I was like, we have to go here, and he was like, yes.
Hey, first of all, feeding the deer, Jonte, they were pretty aggressive with you, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna play a clip right now. They were very friendly, I should say. The thing that got me,
You
is,
too.
oh yeah,
They're
would
butting your head.
they were butting they put their horn up my butt,
Yeah, I got video of that.
dude. So, and when they found out you had food, they would not leave you alone.
Oh, yeah,
No.
I followed you.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no, not military. So we didn't tell Jonte we were going to the monkey forest
Nope.
until we were about halfway up the hike, or no,
Well,
quarter of the way.
it was because I was asking questions. I was like, well, it said Monkey Park. I just thought maybe that was just the name of the park, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
and then somebody said something.
Well, then
about,
you thought we were supposed to be going to the bamboo grove. And so you were like,
Yes.
when are we,
Right.
does this go to it? And we were like,
Right.
oh, right, yes.
But
So we
then
had to keep
somebody,
moving.
because at a certain point we had to pay to get in,
Right.
And then and then you had to check your bags. I was wondering why you have to check bags.
'Cause the
And
monkeys
then,
will grab the bags.
And then
So Wesam had to check
and then
them.
I heard, and it wasn't with us checking in because you guys checked in before me. Oh, because of that steep ass climb. And then I heard other people. Yep, there it is. I heard other people talk to the lady buying a ticket, and I heard something about monkeys, and I was like, "Wait, Wait, it's called Monkey Park.
and
Hold
they're
on.
talking
And then I
about
went to
monkeys.
and I asked you, Wesam. I said, "Oh, they said something about monkeys up here." Oh, no. And then it was like you brushed off my.
I think they're in the forest or something.
Yeah.
You brushed off my comment
There used
and
to be.
kept on walking. And it wasn't until we saw signs of this rabid looking monkey.
Yeah.
I think I sounded like
And it was like if its top teeth are showing,
yes,
it's angry. If its bottom teeth are showing,
it's
happy.
scared or scared.
Yeah.
It just said
Something. So
angry
we
or
were like-
scared. It never said anything about happy.
Dude.
So we're then
Yeah, and then you're like, dude, there's monkeys here. I'm like,
yeah,
there's lots of monkeys
There's
here.
I was like, oh, okay. Oh,
Dude, it was like Animal Day for you that day.
Yeah, and at first I was like, okay, cool, monkeys. Until we got to the top, and I was like, oh,
Oh, monkeys.
monkeys.
Monkeys. dude.
Wild, just
These monkeys,
out in the open.
unpredictable.
We were all scared. Like legitimately, we were all scared
Because we're smart and we know these things can rip you apart.
Oh,
Some of these
some
people
kid-
are dumb and they're like, playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
Some kid almost got his face ripped off.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes, he
God one of the people, the monkey wranglers, they were called researchers, but
Yeah.
the monkey wranglers was close to him because he saved that kid's face.
Dude, how funny was that researcher who was? We didn't know he was a researcher at first, guys, but he was literally out of the trail, the normal trail, and he was just standing like this. Like imagine me, maybe like 50 feet away, and just like
Just looking off. Yeah.
just looking at looking
In the distance,
off
yeah,
or
yeah.
into, like at the monkeys, and I'm like, oh, that guy has a death wish.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because there's a
right.
roped off area. I'm
Because
like,
he's in the roped off area.
Yeah, and we
That's
didn't know
right.
he was a
That's
researcher,
right.
so he just looked like a like
oh, he's trying to kill himself.
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
kill
I
me.
was like, oh man,
Kill
is
me
this
by
one of
monkey
those? And trying to be very respectful because that's a part of the culture, unfortunately. But just like scared,
all
like,
just watching.
oh, this is
Yeah, like,
Out of
this is
what he
one of
wants.
those moments.
We have it on video too. I don't know if we'll play this part. If we do, we'll play it right now. But there was a section where John Tanius left me and Isaiah for dead.
We were
Okay.
leaving the monkey park on a very narrow path,
Right.
which there's not like the monkeys are just in one area. Once you get to the top, they're all over.
They're
this
everywhere.
place.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to tell this story so people realize how dangerous this place
Oh,
is.
the rock?
Oh yeah. So there's this monkey, maybe from here to Peyton, and I'm just looking at him, and then he just goes
Shows
like
the
this,
teeth.
and I'm
yeah.
like, hey buddy, and I'm like, something's not right, and then he's like. And I'm like, And then the people who work there, he just grabs a stone, and the monkey
Picks
just
up
goes,
a stone.
Yeah, picks up a stone, and the monkey goes
yeah.
and goes back to looking down and away from me. I'm like, oh, this could have been an incident. Okay, let's ask the guy. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, was he like getting angry? He's like, yeah. If they do, we we throw a stone at them.
Hit him
and
with
I'm
the
like,
stone.
oh, that's it. Oh, that's it. And this narrow path we were walking on, before we start walking on it, the dumb parents have a baby in their arms and little kids with them. One of the little kids is like just walking around, and you see like,
Bends down.
dude, 2 or 3 of these like
Yeah.
grown adult monkeys, and you see like these 2 workers. They're like trying to like find the monkeys. They have stones in their hands, and they're like throwing one, and they're like, okay, we're good, and they're talking in their little radios, and I'm like, do you guys have to deal with these idiots all the? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you guys are good job keeping
Heroes.
people safe.
Which, by the way, that should be a warning. They shouldn't have this park. If these monkeys are that dangerous and they have to take these precautions, why are we idiotically just hanging with these monkeys?
You know,
Because
that's a good question.
because those
That's a good
monkeys were
question.
also unpredictable. That's what made them scary. It was because they'll be cool in one moment and the next they're like rabid, and then the next they're
You
cool
can't
again.
read
You don't
them.
right.
Yeah.
Right. They were like the Joker. To me, that was the only way I can think of
Yeah.
it, was like Heath Ledger's Joker. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
very unpredictable, very like wily.
Kind of like you.
Yeah.
When things get dangerous, Jonte.
only in this moment.
So there's-
Only in this moment? And you shouldn't laugh either, because you were about to leave me, but I
just wanted to
grabbed
get
you.
out.
You were scared too.
Did I say I wasn't scared, sir?
You were
I said-
terrified.
These are
Yes, I was.
things that'll.
but
you're killing machines.
So we're heading down on the path.
Away from researchers, just to
Away-
let you know.
Yes, away from
Yeah.
researchers. And then there's
three of us.
Yeah, there's three of us. We turn the corner, and there is a grown adult right
Just
in the middle.
In the
Sitting
middle of the path.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how do we get around him? How do we get around him? And then
Is
I
he
look
gonna
back.
move a little bit? No.
No, Jonte's
I-
already walking away from us.
Abandoned.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really scared.
Yeah.
I didn't trust the 3-on-1 thing. That monkey could have went on any one of us, and it would have been lights out.
Well, you left, and so now it was 2-on-1.
Yeah, thank you.
We're
And then
small.
Jonte left for a bigger
A
Group.
bigger group
who made fun of him.
for abandoned.
I didn't see. No, the reason why they made fun of me
Yeah.
is because apparently one of them had a baby that was attached to their front, and I didn't realize that. I
Yeah.
just saw a bigger group. I didn't see the baby.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was one of not my bigger moments, and I hid behind the guy with the baby, but. Whatever. It was a bigger group, and so I
Well-
wanted to go with the group.
Yeah, cool. You're responsible for both of our deaths. That counts as one for you. Okay. And then we're headed down because you left with the group, and so we're still having to like pass by
Me and Wesam.
me. And then there's one behind us. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh shit! And then Isaiah's trying to run away. I'm like, where do you think you're going? You piece of shit! Where you piece of shit human being? Stay together.
I'm just trying to get out. I'm like, well,
Dude.
if we move quick, maybe we can just get out of here.
No, don't run. Don't run away from the things that will easily catch up to you.
And
this
This
is our
guy is-
only way out of this place.
we
Dude,
passed this
dude,
guy.
Jonte, seriously, stop, Jonte. You have to stay with it. Seriously, stay in the group so we look bigger. Okay. And okay,
Okay, he looks hungry.
we're gonna
Looks
die.
hungry.
Jonte, stay with us so we're all three of us.
Okay.
Seriously, lock arms.
And it's hungry,
Lock
Dante.
arms, dude. Seriously. Okay.
All right, let's move.
Oh.
Guys, puff up your chest. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Oh fucking shit. He's gonna die. He's gonna. Jonte. 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 He's like so scared. He's so scared. Jonte. The girl.
The girls are coming with me. Oh no, we gotta pass.
Jonte. Jonte. Dude. I know, right? Right?
Hey, the baby looks strong.
And so we finally made it out of the park, and we're walking around Kyoto.
Wasn't my choice to go up there. Y'all, so,
Yeah.
so,
No,
Oh, well.
this is our thing.
oh well, yeah.
We sat by the mini waterfall, which was so beautiful,
Oh, yeah.
by the
Serene.
river,
So cool.
and we kind of looked at each other like, guys, we don't want to leave Kyoto.
Yeah, this is still the same day we got the bullet train.
Yeah, same day, and we were like, maybe we should just find, if we can find a cheap hotel, let's just spend the night here and go back tomorrow. We find this amazing deal of a hotel room that was a legit hotel room with 3 beds, private bathroom, everything, for only like $80.
Yeah, which was, if you break it down, the same price of our hostel.
Yeah, and we're like,
And
what?
and it was just literally down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, is this right? I
Yeah.
was expecting to walk in and find like,
Dead body.
yeah, somebody's garage.
Yeah, the place was awesome.
Incredible. I was like, can we just stay here the next time we go to Japan? Just literally stay in
Yeah.
that hotel.
It was so nice. Modern.
So
And-
we dropped off. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but even right before that, shout out to For the People.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
Oh yeah.
You got
right.
recognized in Kyoto as opposed to Tokyo,
Yeah.
which that was pretty cool.
That was really cool, and it was so cool because I think a
That
couple
that
days
day,
ago-
no, that day, that
Oh, yeah.
morning.
you were like asking me like, wouldn't it be cool if you got recognized in Japan? I was like, it would be, but I highly doubt it, dude. Like, there's no way that like we're gonna be recognized.
International.
Like, the show's not that pop. I didn't think it would be that popular. Where like, oh, I'm
Overseas.
going
Yeah, yeah,
overseas, and
yeah.
like people are like, oh, For the People. I was wrong,
Right.
100% wrong, and so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We dropped off our stuff at the hotel room, and then that night we went to the onsen, which is a public bath. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite things in the entire trip. Oh,
Such a great, like very timely. Because what is that day? Whatever.
six.
I
6.
have.
We've been walking, biking, feet hurt, back hurt.
The foot massage.
I got a body scrub. I laid in the outside bath. We got
Oh, yeah.
massages. And we
Yeah.
ate dinner in the same
The
place.
dinner was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And what
Yeah.
was cool is you put all your stuff in the locker. You get a bracelet with a key, and they just scan your barcode everywhere you
For
go.
everything,
For everything.
yeah.
The massage, the food, anything
And you
else
and
you
like
want
you
to
pay
do.
at the end.
Yeah, and you pay at the end and when you leave. And I was like, oh, that's
Even the
nice.
price for the onsen was actually really.
Yeah.
It was really affordable. I thought it would have been way more than that.
It was what?
I forget how much it was,
25?
but it was.
I think it was less than that.
Yeah, it felt like it was less than that.
And if you got a membership, it was like way less
Oh,
than
yeah.
that. And I was like, dude, if I lived here, I'd go here every weekend.
Yeah.
I think even with dinner or something, I think I paid, I don't know, $50, $60.
I
50
paid.
bucks?
I paid a lot more because I realized
Got the scrub.
I got the scrub and then a massage,
Mm.
which ended up being a little bit more expensive. I was like, wait a minute, how much money did I spend here? Right
Yeah,
now?
the foot massage for me, I think was like $18 or something. Which
Yeah,
was
I guess the
really
scrub
affordable.
costed a lot more. Maybe I got something really expensive food wise.
I was a little jealous only because I didn't get to experience the full extent
Oh,
of
right.
the onsen.
Because of your tattoo.
Just because I was really nervous to get kicked out. If I got kicked out in Tokyo, fine, I know how to get back. But I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I totally get that. Next time, I think like you said, you get like a skin colored
Yeah,
thing. And yours is so unnoticeable
Yeah.
too. I promise you that I think even if you had no thing, because it was if you had just draped the towel over your arm and just like a natural way, literally nobody was talking to anybody.
yeah. It's
And that's
just
the-
it's just because that culture was just so respectful, and a lot of the
Yeah,
older
I
men
get it.
there, it felt like if they would have saw it, they would have said something. Like that's
Yeah.
how I felt.
Yeah.
And we should also just tell people what we're talking about. These onsens, they don't allow people in with any size tattoo. It doesn't matter how
Right,
how small. It's just because of the history there. I guess that's where Yakuza would meet or what have you. And so because of that, they wanted to like keep out any
Yeah.
criminal element. So it doesn't matter who you are, just any tattoo. And I do have one tattoo on my arm, and I did put a Band-Aid over it, but it was like a tan color, which to me felt probably more noticeable with the Band-Aid than the tattoo itself. But I respected that culture so much that I didn't want to
Yeah.
like offend anybody.
No,
So I did not go into
I
the
understand.
springs, which I was really disappointed about.
I understand that. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I saw a documentary. I don't know if it was before our trip or after, but a Yakuza member, an ex-Yakuza member, actually just was like, I go to this onsen. Nobody says anything to me, and he has a full-sized back tattoo all the way down his butt, his arms, everything, and he just goes in there, showers, and leaves. And I don't think anybody. I think that some people are too scared to say anything to him.
Yeah.
And frankly, they're like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna kick him out.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Oh yeah, after the onsen. Excuse me.
I think this is my favorite part, maybe favorite moment of the trip was after the onsen. We
Please
had
go
to
ahead.
get a. We took a taxi there because it's probably like a 30-minute walk back to our hotel that we got, and so we were like, all right, we got to get a taxi back, and it must have been like 11 or something at night after the onsen.
Earlier, maybe.
Maybe it was dark. Well, also in Kyoto, like after 6,
Yeah.
the shops close at 6 and everyone's inside. So
Yeah.
it could be like 7 p.m. and it feels like it's in the middle of the
Yeah.
night. So who knows what
I think
time
it was
it
around 9 because I think I had a story on it. But
Yeah. And so we were trying to find a taxi back. And it was the hardest thing. Well, first off, the streets are just empty. So we're like, well, okay, we were kind of waiting out front of the onsen, like, well, okay, are they going to come by? And we're
it
like,
almost
"No,
fought one lady for a taxi.
yeah, and then we're like, okay, there's no maybe we should walk closer, like start walking towards there, and then if we see a taxi, we'll flag it down. And then we saw one come, and we're like, is a light on? Like we couldn't tell, and so we tried to flag it down, and then the dude drove by and just looked at us,
Slow down. Slow
slowed down a little
down.
bit. So we're like, oh, he's gonna, and then he just keeps going. We're like, oh, okay, and there was no one in the back seat, and so we're like, maybe his taxi was off. Okay, and so we keep walking. We're like, all right. And then another one comes, and we're like, oh, I think his light's on. We couldn't tell. We're like, let's wave him down.
Flash.
And he doesn't even,
Oh.
he just straight ahead
Right.
to the point where it's like you would obviously look at us. We're like in the road, and he just does not break.
Intentionally not looking.
Drives by, and we're like, okay, how are we gonna get home? Are we gonna have to walk home right now? And then we ended up going into like a 7-Eleven because it was nearby, and we got some snacks. And then I feel like we tried to flag one more down, and they had someone in it.
Is that the flash?
Yeah, no, he stopped at a light. Yeah,
He stopped at a light, and then kept going. And we're like, dude,
he flashed us. Yeah,
we can't get it. What do we have? Are we doing something wrong? And so I'm like already getting giggly because like this is hilarious to me. And then was he parked? The guy that we ended up getting? Or no, that was the next day. The guy that was.
Yeah, I don't know how we just
We finally
flagged down.
got one.
Yeah, like halfway. We were already like halfway to our hotel by that point.
Yeah, we literally walked halfway, and then we finally got it, and this guy I could already tell felt uncomfortable because it was like past curfew, and we're like foreigners and kind of like laughing and being all like, we could look like hooligans, you know? So we finally get one, and we're like, oh, thank God, he's gonna like let us in. And so we open the door, and Jonte is like, what is it, Gome? He's like, oh, Gome. And we're like, dude, we said, I looked at each other, we're like, don't ruin this for us. If he's gonna, we finally get a taxi driver, and he thinks we're crazy because we're like, please pick us
Oh
up.
yeah.
So we're like,
Kept
Jonte,
saying, please, I'm sorry.
Please,
Please,
go back,
I'm
put us
sorry.
on, put us on.
Dude, just shut up.
Shut up, man.
Fuck, come on, dude. We're just trying to make it home. And he has like a food bag. We all have food bags.
Yeah, because we came from 7-Eleven, so we look like homeless or something, and it's like, please, please, I'm sorry.
Stop saying sorry.
Stop, Jonte.
So,
He's gonna kick us out. Yeah, and then I was in the back seat, like trying not to pee again.
yeah. Peyton, how much time do we have?
Oh, we got 4 minutes.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll talk about the next day. What happened? So the next day, what was cool is you actually had a self tape,
Yes.
and we
Yeah.
actually got coffee before the self tape. Had a great conversation,
Yep.
and then we did your self tape. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was about to sneeze. That wasn't like a dramatic pause. I was trying to remember. By the way, side note: being sick is the worst thing in the world. Like trying to do normal stuff while having like a flu or whatever. Yeah, I'm sure we all know that. That's common knowledge. Anyway,
Brought to you by.
brought to you by common
Flu.
knowledge. No, you killed it on your self tape as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks to you guys.
Yeah,
And
But
the
the-
talk we had before.
yeah. The conversation going into that, like at the during coffee. Which, by the way, I don't even know when you actually prepared for your self tape. We're always together.
the onsen.
Yeah, but just like going. But then going into the self tape, it wasn't half-assed. It was very nuanced work, and did it. And we actually we were under a time crunch because we had to check out of the
Yeah.
place, and still went to do coffee. And not only did we just do coffee, but that conversation, it almost opened up. I felt like a pathway for your self tape, just because we were talking about the work in such a new way.
Yeah.
Like an appreciation of the work, and I think because we were so caught up in the spirit of Japan and appreciation of everything, really.
Yeah. I was really not feeling it, which was bothering me. And then I didn't like that I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, and I couldn't like print out the sides. I was just like going over it on my phone at the onsen.
Yeah.
So that bothered me. But then we had a great, and like I woke up and I was like, kind of like, I got to do this thing. But then we had that talk at the coffee shop, and like something switched, and I was like, awesome, let's do it. So that was really cool.
Yeah. And we got to walk around in these little alleyways behind our hotel, which was cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Beautiful.
we went to Arabica Coffee, which was cool.
All right.
They only did espressos, which was
Yeah.
very interesting. Very cool niche coffee place, but like amazing view that they have to work in there. And the line was across, like around the corner. Like,
Yeah.
that's probably the most I think almost. No, Coffee Mamea was probably longer. Maybe the same,
Yeah.
but there were a lot more people in front of
Difference
us.
in people.
The Korean old guy kept bumping into you. Remember that, Jonte?
Oh, yes, yes.
He was standing arm in arm
No,
with me.
definitely a foreigner. no sign of respect at all. He, in fact, once in line, cut in front of me. And then when we got closer to the register, definitely was trying to get in front of me. And when the guy said next, I had no problem just spouting my order, even though he was in front of me. Did not care.
Oh, wow.
Because he had a crew with him, of three
Yeah.
other people. And then they started to come up when we were near the or at the register, and you two had already ordered your coffee. So I'm like, nope, sorry. I'm about to be real American now.
Yeah.
It had no problem being real American in front of him.
Yeah, that was so funny. The rudest people we encountered were people not from Japan there.
Yeah.
Not surprising. We got to walk down that cool street, which was awesome. Got the wasabi peanuts.
Those
Oh,
were
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Those are yummy. I still gotta pay you for the wasabi peanuts.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Lemon cucumber snack, which I
Oh,
loved.
nice.
We got to check out the bamboo forest, which was super crowded, but super cool. Still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah. I had a shrimp potato fried thing, which was
that's
cool on our
right.
way back.
At that little train station thing.
Yeah, it was really like kind of cozy walk, and we got to talk about some stuff. We saw the two Korean guys our age. One of them freaked out when a pigeon flew next to him. I've never, dude, he was worse than you when it came to birds. Oh my gosh.
And he cursed in Korean.
Yeah.
Dude, I looked at him straight in the face and laughed. Did not care. I was like, what are you
I
doing?
think we all laughed.
But he jumped and ducked.
Yeah.
And it made me just laugh with delight because I'm not the only one.
Dude. Oh, yeah. And so there was one, you were responsible for our deaths. I count you responsible for my death as well. And then I was responsible for both your deaths because I decided, we can go on a rowboat in the middle of the river next to the waterfall. And we get in there, and I'm like, this is much harder than I expected. And where you start with the rowboat is kind of close to the waterfall-esque, but ish. But the current, because I'm not rowing properly, takes us all the way to the edge, and we bump into the
guardrail.
It's very flimsy, like wooden
Right,
guardrail.
you can flip over.
Oh yeah.
We were holding on to the guardrail so we don't flip over.
That was the other time I almost peed myself because I was laughing so hard.
Which, by the way, I was surprised because Mr. Jim, that's one of the things that you do is actually row. You actually row as one of your machines.
Dude, that was
so I was shocked.
hard
I was
to do.
shocked.
But to do both of them at the same time was
Yeah.
very weird.
And Josh came over and saved us, but he was he
Yeah.
manned us out
know.
of that area because the current was taking us to that.
And
to
we
the
were
fall.
up against the ropes. It was
Yeah.
super hard to get out.
But you were doing it forwards.
Yeah.
I was trying to do a back row.
It was something like
Because
that.
That's-
we were doing.
I'm
that's
gonna
how
blame it on that.
they suggested. Okay, this is it. This is it.
I forgot to say we went to Gyoji Temple, which was really cool.
What about the taxi ride there?
Oh my god. Okay, so after the rowboat, we were like, let's go to Gyoji Temple. Well,
We approach a taxi.
the guy was eating, and I'm like, sorry, and then I woke up, and he goes, it's okay. And so I go up to him.
He puts away his sushi in the glove compartment.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay.
Very handy.
I'm like, hi, konnichiwa, Goji Temple, kudasai. And he just stares at me.
The most dead-eyed
Yeah.
stare I've ever seen in my life.
I thought I said something about his mom. That's how intense he was. And I was like,
And it was so long, the pause. It was like, did he hear us? Is he plotting to kill us?
you start laughing. And I'm like,
Which was not a surprise at all,
and he's like,
ever on this
"Goji?"
trip.
And I'm like, yeah. And I showed him. He's like, Gyoji. And I'm like, come on, dude.
Same thing.
This Kyoto's small. You know what I was talking about.
It's just up the street, too. Relative.
Yeah.
So he starts trying to talk to us in Japanese, and then you said something to him in Japanese, which was,
Nihongo ga yokunai desu, which is a great phrase if you say it in perfect Japanese, because it's literally my Japanese isn't very good. And so if you say that in perfect Japanese, they're like, oh, he's just joking, maybe.
yeah.
And so I said that to him on behalf of Wesam because he was talking to Wesam in like Japanese, and then he like laughed and like oh, and then he just
Oh yeah. So you say that to him. Slight pause, and then he responds back with a complicated Japanese sentence I've never heard of, and I'm
any
like,
of the words he said, I've never heard them.
yeah. And this was my response. Oh. And then he goes, oh.
And we're like, huh? What's going on?
Right?
I literally just told him I can't speak Japanese well, and then he just gives you the most complicated.
A cacophony.
And then the taxi driver, the guy goes, he almost hit a guy because there's people
As we're
on-
driving
as we're
now.
driving, and he goes whoosh, and then we all start laughing so hard because he's laughing, and he's talking about
And we're
hitting
already
someone.
uncomfortable with the
And
whole
I'm in the front
Japanese.
seat.
Yeah, and then Jonte goes ding 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 ding, and I'm losing it in the back seat. Everybody's laughing in the car at this point.
As like as a response to hitting the different people, like it was a
Yeah.
game, and he loved it.
And we went to Gyoji Temple. We finally got there, and that was such a
That's my favorite temple thing. That was probably my favorite moment of the entire trip.
it's my happy place, my meditation, quiet go-to place. It's an amazing temple, old temple for hermits and for meditation.
There was some quote, and it said something about it mentioned
Oh, the silence.
the profound silence in Kyoto.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, that is what it is. Because in Kyoto, yeah, I mean, you guys both felt it. Like, as soon as we got there, it was just like this stillness
Mhm.
and profound silence. And that was like, oh, yes, that is what it is.
Yeah.
Especially at that temple, yeah.
And I took incredible pictures at that temple, and I'm not sharing them. They're only for my own personal consumption, and already I've used it as my own meditation. I will look at it and then kind of like, because of what you said, which was really incredible, that I will always go there in my mind. I was like, oh yes, and so it's like that can never be taken away from me now, and that is my happy place to go to. So in my meditations, or before I start, I will look at that picture and then just kind of escape there, and it's just so pure.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite places ever. The moss and all the green was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we basically, after that, we had an amazing dinner with the Wagyu beef, the fried
Tonkatsu,
bullets.
yeah.
Yummy.
Oh,
That
so
was
good.
incredible.
It melted in your mouth.
We took the bullet train back home, and the next day we actually went to Streamers again. Small Dogs at the coffee shop. We had an amazing conversation. We actually went back to Yoyogi Park and actually walked more of the park there. We saw the crazy clubs that was going on.
Yeah.
There was like 50 Shiba Inus. There's so many dogs at the park,
so many.
and then most of them are Shiba Inus, which
And majority of dogs were clothed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all
Which
had clothes.
Weird.
yeah, but it kind
Yeah,
of
they-
felt normal. Whereas in like California and Los Angeles, it kind of feels like, all right,
being
guys,
extra.
you're so extra.
Yeah.
But out there, it didn't feel extra. It
No.
felt
They had them
normal.
in strollers.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
It was like they're
Very
they're
weird.
kids.
One
yeah.
dog had a pantsuit, had a pants and a top. I thought that was strange.
We went to the Little Nap Coffee, which was great. That
Yeah.
that really good burger place.
Arms.
Arms,
something?
yeah. And we weren't planning on eating burgers, but we saw it and was like, oh,
Yeah.
this feels right to eat here.
Yeah.
They had really unique burgers and that kind of stuff.
Fresh.
Switch coffee earlier that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We saw the
Streamers, Switch, and Little Nap. We had
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
coffee places.
We saw the comedian.
Oh, the worst comedian in the
Oh.
world, and I felt so bad for him.
Fringe.
He would go up to people in the park and
Had a
say,
little sign.
had a little sign. They would give him some money, and he would do a little stand-up routine. So bad,
Very Japanese.
but the balls on him to just do that to
Yeah.
random people. It
Yeah.
was pretty good. Guy doing magic on like a book, putting a crystal over it. That was weird. Ladies singing one of the craziest songs and most
Arigato.
catchy.
Toto.
Arigato. Arigato. Kudasai dome.
I don't know what this
And she
is.
don't know
loved us. Loved us. Yeah.
Tagged her.
Yeah. Wait.
And that night, that was on our way. We went to the jazz bar.
But
That was the one
sorry.
at the library. That was
Yes.
the incident trying to find the library where Jonte was.
we were trying to find the Murakami, who's my favorite author. He supposedly has some library with all of his manuscripts and jazz vinyl at Waseda University. It was all very we didn't precarious. It was like, does it exist yet? Has it happened? I couldn't find anything in the news, so I was like, all right, we're gonna go there and just kind of not expect too much. And so we got to the university, and I was trying to like ask people. The two people I asked didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, great, I don't think this is gonna happen. We found a girl. I was like, can you just take us to the library? I'm sure the librarian will know out of all people.
Show us to the library.
Yeah. And then that's when we had that little moment with Jonte, where Jonte got pissed because he said, yeah, well, we already went over
Yeah.
that.
Don't
And
make
then,
her recite ego.
ego. And then we went to the
Library.
and I asked the receptionist,
So
the librarian.
quiet, so quiet.
I'll be
in
her.
there.
okay, this is the moment. Okay. Konnichiwa. Haruki Murakami, do you know the library? Do you know, is it here? Does it?
Dude, I'm not exaggerating. That's how loud she was talking. I was right behind Isaiah, and I was shaking.
I was like, dude. One, you're speaking just Japanese to me when obviously I'm speaking to you in English. And even if you were speaking English, I can't hear you. So quiet. And I was just like baffled. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, it's not happening.
We
It
couldn't
doesn't
find it.
exist. We couldn't find it, yeah. But which is so Murakami.
Well, it didn't end there the night. We ended it with probably one of my favorite night of the whole trip in Japan, which was the jazz bar we went to.
Yeah. Underground.
Underground.
Jazz bar.
We met my friend Yuri there, and we were gifted some amazing gifts.
Yeah,
Thank
she was
you,
awesome.
Yuri.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And, dude, that jazz bar.
So many metaphors.
So many
Yeah.
metaphors. We walk in, very small basement. People are playing jazz amazingly. The owner's there.
There's like 3 tables.
Yeah, the
max.
place is really intimate. Really intimate.
Very intimate. And our server and the owner actually, we were surprised because after that band was playing, after they took our order, they went up and they played. And she was a master pianist and he was a master saxophone player.
We were like, wait, what?
Like what?
They just took our order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now she's like shredding.
Killing it.
dude, amazing, amazing time.
And then right after she was done, without a hesitation, came up to us, cleared our things, and asked us
Yes.
what else we wanted.
Yes.
And I was like, which to me was so, it was like they're such masters at their craft, but also they also love what they do. Like here in America, or at least in Los Angeles, with actors having other jobs to support themselves, a lot of the actors here, the mentality is they hate what they do. They rather just be acting, and like it shows, and it shows with all, like, let them be baristas, servers, work at retail. It doesn't matter. They just hate their jobs. Whereas here in Japan, like, actually, really no one hated their job, but especially in this place, it's really cool seeing them do what they love, but then come right with no hesitation, happy to serve you, and then still with that running mentality, with that hustle mentality. And it was like, oh my God, if, like, just appreciate what you do. And that I'm definitely taking back here in America, in terms of just, it doesn't matter what you do, like, just you're living, like, you're living,
Yeah.
like, be present and love every aspect. And it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Like, you're just being present.
Yeah.
It was that not only that part of it, which was resonating with me so much. The Japanese dad, whose son was there, who was just playing on the piano and who was killing it during this jazz song, goes up to you and Jonte,
Me, yeah.
or you, Jonte, and he says, "Talk to my son in English."
The
only."
dad, yeah. The
Yeah,
dad
it's
said
like, whoa.
And Isaiah's like, wait, what did he just say to you?
that. Yeah, I thought it was like aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
don't, because we had said something to him in Japanese. The son, like, I think we may have said konnichiwa or something, but he was
Or very good or something.
Yeah, but he was like, and so I thought he was saying like, don't talk to him in Japanese, talk to him in English. But he was saying like, I want him to learn English, so
Yeah.
can you speak to him in English?
And then he leaves.
And he left.
The dad,
His son alone.
a 14-year-old
14.
in this
bar.
like adult bar,
Yeah.
Jazz pianist.
bar. Yeah.
Just, I mean, he was incredible, and we actually were talking to him a little bit. You grabbed his jazz piano book.
Songbook, yeah.
Bible, his jazz Bible.
Yeah, and you picked a song for him to play.
Yeah, one of my favorite jazz tunes, and I asked him to play it, and he was like, "Oh, I can't do that one." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I picked like 2 more, and he was like, "No, I can't do those." And I was like, "Oh, okay. All right, well, I tried." And then he ends up playing that first one, and I was like, "Whoa, he's gonna do it!"
And incredible.
And he played it in such a way that was, first of all, you saw he reads it for like 10 minutes, and goes up and plays it, and you're like, what? And he improvises with it in a
Yeah.
way that fills the space. And you actually mentioned this afterwards. It's for somebody who's, even though he's like 14 and already a black belt, you listen to the way the Grand Master, what's his name,
Jamal.
Ahmad Jamal.
Jamal play it, and listening to the Grand Master play it, you're like, oh, he lets it breathe in places. He doesn't necessarily improvise with certain things. But this kid, he made it his own, which sounded great, but not a lot of places it breathed. And you
Yeah.
watched the owner of the jazz bar
Favorite part. My
kind
favorite
of
part.
guiding him through the song with the saxophone. And you're like, what am I watching here? This is like
Yeah.
transcendent right now. Like generation helping the younger, like an older
Yeah.
generation helping the younger generation.
Both
I mean-
masters at their craft.
Absolutely. It literally was watching art transcend itself
Yeah.
at that jazz bar.
In this underground jazz bar.
We watched art
In Japan.
transcend
Yeah.
itself in Japan. It was incredible. Sorry, I just
No, please,
before I
please,
hit
please.
it. Side note on the owner of the jazz bar for our listeners, he was in the middle of a fucking saxophone
That's
solo.
right.
No joke. Finishes the solo, takes a phone call, comes
the
back.
phone was ringing, and he's
For
like
the
looking
business.
at it. Stops, takes it, yeah, and goes back in.
Almost didn't miss a beat. Just flowed right back in. What you were saying about the about the owner and the kid? We actually, I think it was you that drew this amazing parallel that most younger artists are like trying to get to this point. They're like trying to get to become a master, so they're rushing things, and so like this kid played a lot of notes because that's what he thought he was trying to get to this masterful place, whereas older people, more experienced artists, are actually trying to go backwards. They're actually trying to get to the more simple places, going back to the basics basics back. And so it was this cool visual of watching them do this X, and they're trying to find the middle, the cross at, and so the kid is learning how to be like the master. The master is trying to go back to where the kid should be, which is the basics. And it was this really cool like dichotomy that was happening that then was like very eye-opening for us as actors and just our approach to the work. It was, I mean, just in watching that was very momentous.
Very beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Very.
So
very.
grateful.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of speechless going home that
Yeah.
night, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the next day after that incredible night, we
Oh,
hit up the VR place, which was so cool.
that was the day where we were all
Done.
dead tired.
Yeah, Sunday. I
Caught
believe
up
that was
with
a
us.
Sunday. And we were just, the VR place was incredible. It was like an indoor theme park with all virtual
So much
reality.
energy.
Yeah.
We did not have.
Yeah, and we were like, oh my gosh.
Because we only had one coffee
Yeah, that's
that day.
It's true. And then we played a lot of that cool tag game with the virtual headset that me and
Oh,
John
that was awesome.
demolished that
Yeah.
Two little kids.
two little kids in.
Didn't care.
Didn't care. Demolished them. And they are so far ahead of us in entertainment and technology. Seriously, America is a great country. I love it. But when people say America is like the best country in the world, you should really check out other countries, specifically
Especially when
Japan.
it comes to like
Travel.
respect.
There's a lot of. It's hard to compare. It really is. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, because there's like pros and cons with Japan
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Work
Of course.
culture, is not
That's-
the same as
yeah.
here. There are pros and cons to that.
But even their signs for respect. They had two people bowing as their construction sign is saying like sorry for the construction.
Yeah,
or
sorry
like,
for the inconvenience.
yeah,
I was like,
and
what?
there's two people bowing on the
Yeah.
on the sign. And even the construction people that we did pass, like gave us all. I mean, even them, just the level of respect that they show each other is pretty incredible.
Yeah. I mean, we went to the VR place. That day was awesome there. And then we got dinner. It was a very chill day. And then Monday, our last full day there, we actually went back to the pottery place we were hoping to get the mozzarella cheese place, but it was closed. The pottery place, I could tell immediately after a couple of sentences, like, I don't think they want us to buy this stuff. Because we tried going in
The
there a couple
kintsugi.
times. Yeah, the kintsugi pottery. And I told them, like, I want to pay. I want to buy one of these. They look beautiful. And I was asking if it was made from real gold or fake gold. And the guy was giving me mixed answers. And then
He went to the back and then came up and was like, "Yeah, it's all fake." We're like,
yeah, but the
okay."
prices on it were definitely not for. It didn't seem like it was fake, and I was like, okay, cool. Thank you for your help. And it was so Japanese to be that unwelcoming, even in that polite Japanese way to foreigners. Which, listen, I don't agree with, but like they did it in such a respectful way. I was like, you know what, whatever. If you don't,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't want my money, that's fine. If you
Yeah.
don't want my business, that's totally fine. Good luck with your worldviews,
Yeah.
etc. But that was the only time that I
Yeah.
actually was like, that's a bummer.
Also, probably mistaked us for like you know how those tourists don't like maybe appreciate that
Maybe.
and just that place felt very ceremonious a
Yeah.
bit, even with the like because they also did pottery classes, which was
Yeah.
really cool in there. I don't know, it just felt very
Yeah.
traditional.
We did walk around after that. We went to Cafe Mame again, and I had a dark roast, which was incredible.
I think at that point I couldn't do coffee anymore. I was
remember that.
being coffeeed out.
But we did. I want to show you, like, these sweatshirts you guys got was at the awesome High Panda store.
Oh, yeah, that's
It
Which
just
wasn't
opened.
there the first time we went,
Yeah,
which is very serendipitous of the trip.
it just opened. It was like 2 days old. Last time we went to that area was like 5 days ago. So
Yeah.
we stumbled across a huge panda on
Yeah.
a building, and I was like, well, we gotta go in there.
Which is Isaiah's like spirit animal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just a wild. It was like a museum that
Yeah.
sold
AR.
clothes.
It was
Yeah.
AR.
It was like we were at an exhibit. Yeah, it was so weird. You walk in and you get an iPad and you go through this AR experience, augmented reality, and it was like, what? And you get in there and then it's like clothes, but it looks like you're at like a futuristic Matrix bar or
Yeah.
something.
Even
You're
the
like,
hangers.
yeah, the hangers were magnetic and they kept falling every time you touched them. And the changing room was like a bank vault that you had to open and
Oh,
go
that's
in.
right,
I was like,
that's right.
what is this place? And then you go the third floor and it's like literally an exhibit with pandas. There's like smoke and I was just like,
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
what is this? Yeah.
That was so intense in there. You guys got some awesome sweatshirts. Yours
Yeah.
says, "When I grow up, I want to be a cat."
In
Yeah.
Japanese, yeah.
Very topical for me. I like wild cats, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of obsessed with our P22 here in Griffith Park. So it's perfect.
What
Yeah.
a trip, man.
We did a lot of shopping that day. We finished it up. I finished up my shopping, and a couple things we forgot to mention. At some point, we visited a cafe or a bar that was a video game bar, and we went in.
Oh yeah.
And it was so bizarre. We watched this first date happening in front of us, and
They were playing what's that? The
Some paint
paint on
paint
the
gun.
Switch, the Splat
A Splatoon.
Splatoon. They were just like trying to figure out how to play it together. And we were like
It's kind of adorable watching them.
yeah. But it was so bizarre being in there. It was just
in like a
very
bar watching.
Japanese.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
it was very
straight Japanese. They did
Yeah, it
not.
was like cafe bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did
Weird.
not really want to entertain us
The guy didn't know English either,
Yeah.
so we our fault for not learning.
enough.
bad.
Yeah, enough. Guys, and me overpaying for a wallet,
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
100,
Yeah. $35.
135.
I was like,
And after you found out, it was too late because it was duty free. They had already
yeah, they were
did
already
the
doing the paperwork.
process.
I was like,
Your passport was
We
already.
were still trying to figure out the yen to USD, and then you're like, wait, I think I paid. You're like, how much is? I'm like, that's 135.
I was like, oh, well, too late now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a nice wallet though.
it is a nice wallet, sir. Guys, this was the trip of a lifetime. I'm trying to.
Seriously.
Last
was.
day, Roar, on our way to the
Oh my
airport.
God, Roar Coffee. Yeah,
Yeah.
how amazing was that place?
They were amazing.
Very
They had a
extra.
blast with us, that's for sure. And that's it. We're 3 minutes till we're done. And yeah, guys, just want to say thank you for.
We did it. Thank you.
Yeah,
We're so
for
lucky to have you
spearheading.
as a friend.
Yes, Isaiah.
That is true. You guys are very lucky to have me as a friend.
Side note: Wesam
And at
so many
your
times said,
funeral-
"How lucky are you guys that I'm your friend?"
Yeah.
How
He said that
lucky.
probably at least once a day, and then he also somehow would always talk about a funeral, usually his funeral, and how at his funeral we're gonna do this or that. And I was like, dude,
You're
it's
gonna be so sad at my funeral.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Oh, you guys are gonna be so sad at my funeral.
just randomly throughout at least once a day. We were like, hey man, what? What?
Well, for all of this, I hope I have a little something in your will. So, you know.
Nothing. Guys, let's play the rollout music. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody, to the show. Thank you to Adobe Radio. Thank you. Good to see you guys again. Michael Payton,
Good to see you, sir.
glad you're still alive. Thank you to Josh, or Isaiah, whatever name you go by, and Jonte. Thank you to everybody who's tuned into our show, our new subscribers, and be sure to follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. We appreciate you, and I'm gonna go die now, and hopefully this flu will subside or something like that. Weirdest way to end the show. I know. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk.